Alright, we're recording. This is our one-off campaign session. It's called the Arkheim Horror. And let's have some fun. First off, what I want to do is share a little bit of an intro, and then we're going to go over our characters and do introductions that way. Because as we've got a little bit of music to set the mood, I kind of want to set the mood manually as well. Okay. It is the 41st millennium. For more than 100 centuries, the Emperor has sat immobile on the golden throne of Earth. He is the master of mankind by the will of the gods, and master of a million worlds by the might of his inexhaustible armies. He is a rotting carcass, writhing invisibly with power from the dark age of technology. He is the carrion lord of the Imperium, for whom 1,000 souls are sacrificed every day, so that he may never truly die. Yet, even in his deathless state, the Emperor continues his eternal vigilance. Mighty battle fleets cross the demon-infested miasma of the warp, the only route between the distant stars, their way lit by the Astronomicon, the psychic manifestation of the Emperor's will. Vast armies give battle in his name on uncounted worlds. Greatest among his soldiers are the Adeptus Astartes, the Space Marines. Bioengineered super warriors, their comrades in arms are legion. The Imperial Guard are countless planetary defense forces. The ever-vigilant Inquisition and the tech priests of the Adeptus Mechanicus, to name only a few. But for all their multitudes, they are barely enough to hold off the ever-present threat from aliens, heretics, mutants, and worse. To be a man in such times is to be one amongst untold billions. It is to live in the cruelest and most bloody regime imaginable. These are the tales of those times. Forget the power of technology and science, for so much has been forgotten, never to be relearned. Forget the promise of progress and understanding, for in the grimdark future there is only war. There is no peace amongst the stars, only an eternity of carnage and slaughter, and the laughter of thirsting gods. Amid the untold thousands of stars listed in the great scrolls of the Imperium that roll and tumble in the blackness of the void, there is the planet of Arkheim, a world of industry. Its inhabitants toil and labor to provide for worlds and people they will never know. The eyes of the secret and feared organization of the Inquisition have turned upon this forgotten rock with great concern, for one of its inquisitors has gone missing. Now the Inquisition sends you to find her and or uncover the cause for her disappearance.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. A grim-faced staff member aboard your ship comes and wakes you. We have arrived in system. We need to run some tests to make sure all mind and motor skills are functioning normally. Please follow me to the drop bay. Do you all follow the staff
I will
member?
come.
I guess. Perfect.
Oh no.
All right. All right, let's see how everybody can jump. Do we remember the percentile rolls and stuff? We're trying to roll under our agility here.
Shoot.
Okay.
This is going to be a very easy test, so we will have a plus 30.
Oh, thank goodness.
Okay. Everybody do a plus 30 agility
Oh, I
test.
needed that.
Do you roll?
Yeah,
I'm good.
I make it.
I rolled a 17.
I rolled
Crit 5.
a 5.
I rolled
So that's great.
60.
Okay.
Okay, so you guys all...
Oh yeah, I did. Sorry, I thought I rolled a 99 for a second.
That's bad. Okay, yeah, so you guys can jump, and we'll say that you run around a little bit. And then they're like, all right, we're going to hit or shoot various targets that are in front of you. What would you like to do? Are you shooting or hitting?
I would like to shoot.
Okay, I'm going to be very vague with my description here because we're just doing some tests. You're going to shoot.
I'm gonna shoot.
Shoot.
I will also shoot.
Okay. These are close targets, so we'll do a plus 30 to hit.
Crit 9.
You don't have to track ammo for this.
12.
And what's our
Ballistic.
ballistic thing?
It's plus 30 to that test.
And we're trying to get to what level? What number?
What's your ballistics?
Oh, I see. 45. So
So-
6 0 zeros, right?
I'm gonna give you those dice. They have never rolled well for anyone. They are the hated dice. You ran for them and they love you.
I did. They love me.
Okay, so yeah, you guys
Did you
find
shoot?
you can
missed.
shoot. And the staff
Even with a
member.
plus 30?
Yep.
Dang. Did you
Oh,
roll
you
another
missed?
84?
93.
Oh, you missed.
Yes.
Oh,
Did you
okay.
add your
So you
red
got-
dot?
You're still feeling kind of groggy.
No, I didn't add all that. Should I add? Should I add like aiming and red dot? My red. Oh yeah. I guess
Oh yeah, you should add the red dot.
I still
And
feel
then remember the action page too that I told you. I think it was on page 189 or something.
Oh yeah, I think you had told us 129. I meant to ask.
It's 189. Yeah. Okay, so this tells you kind of different actions that you can do. So if you would have aimed as a half action, it would have given you a plus 10, and then your red dot does give you a plus 10 as well. And so you would have had a plus 40 to your test.
And I also have an
it
accurate
was supposed to be.
sniper, so that gives me
Doesn't
another.
matter.
Okay. Okay. It said it was another plus 10, but I don't need it.
What?
The last gun is accurate, which is supposed to be a plus 10 if you take the aim action on top of whatever the aim action
Oh.
plus is.
That's
Good
a
to know.
solid gun.
Yeah, so if you take the aim action, then yeah, plus 20 to half action, plus 30 to a full action.
We'll just say I did it for this one, but
Okay. Cool. The staff member says the reanimation protocol tests are complete. You may wait here in your perspective rooms. We are approaching the planet. And she bows, turns, and leaves. Let's go over character introductions. Who wishes to start? Who wants to introduce their character? Or should I just roll?
Roll.
Yeah, should let fate decide.
You.
Alright. I had a feeling. Alrighty. I will start with my character description, and then I will go into my personality type. So my name is Zia Patra. I am from a hive world, and I am a dross hound, which basically means that I grew up in the slums of the hive world, which is hard to find. I'm an imperial psyker, which is considered an aspirant. Divinations. My quirks are that I have outrageous hair and an electu. My electu, I have them going down my forearms because I use my hands in my work a lot. And so on one of them, it's more geometric pattern, all that good stuff, and then the other one is a little more swirly. But they're both just lines. They're not a specific image.
They glow, right?
Yeah,
Pretty rad.
they're pretty fun. I am lanky in build. I am 5'6", and I weigh 132 pounds. I am tan with mousy hair and gray eyes, and I am 54. It's fun. Okie doke. So as far as my backstory kind of goes,
I'll pause you real quick.
yes.
And it is okay to have as much or little of your backstory currently developed. She had a little extra time.
I did. First, to kind of bring my personality into perspective, I am a combination of Miranda Priestley from Devil Wears Prada, Mr. Fishoder from Bob's Burgers, and Professor Trelawney.
I knew every one of those references.
Yay! Proud. So yes, I'm eccentric and very self-important and elitist. Alrighty. So I have a melancholic personality. I'm overdramatic and prone to depression. I'm slightly paranoid because of my upbringing in the slums. You just kind of assume that everybody's out to get you.
In most cases, they are.
Yep. So because I grew up in the slums of a hive world, I had to work my way into being a sanctioned psyker. I also, after being sanctioned, after going to Terra and all of that stuff, I worked as kind of a party medium to entertain nobles. And so most people view my powers as just a parlor trick. I'm very good at making them think that it's not real, but it is real. It's interesting. And that's the way that I met the Inquisitor. The Inquisitor was at one of the parties that I was entertaining at, and she recognized that I actually was legitimate. And so then, yeah, she recruited me as an acolyte, and I also wrote that my character's flair for the dramatic and ability to distract others with stories, because I have trait storyteller. And readings is both amusing and effective. That's what I wrote. So that's a bit about my character.
Perfect. And we'll just go to you.
All right. My character's name is Eli Kane. He's also from a hive world.
Wait. I super forgot that you
Please
guys have
continue.
the same last name.
Oh,
Oh my
really?
gosh,
We're
this is
brothers.
great.
Maybe you guys are. You're
That
both
would-
from Hive Worlds, too.
Yeah. Okay. I'm already working on my backstory. Keep going.
Okay.
It's gonna be a
Good.
surprise.
So from a hive world, he's an arbitrator, which is like a police officer. He is scrawny. He has. Oh no! He has fair skin. Oh.
Well, yours has died.
Guys, has died. Yeah.
I have bright green hair, brown eyes, and he's 28. Oh man. Oh yeah. So this is his backstory. So he was an arbitrator on a planet. And he was in training, and his arbitrator squad was doing a raid on this place. It was like selling drugs, and they went and then like someone started shooting. So there's a huge gunfight, and like everyone died. There's this one dude that people would shoot, and it just didn't do anything to him. So you shot at him, and it didn't do anything. So I shot at him, and then I drew a knife and I stabbed him, and the knife freaking shattered, and then I like stabbed myself with the broken piece in my lung, and I didn't die because the guy thought that was funny, so he laughed, and then he left, and it was like I had like been fighting a demon, but I didn't know it, so that's why this person recruited me. It's because they're like, wow, like you survived a demon attack. That's pretty cool. So they gave me an iron lung, and now I work for them.
Nice.
That's a fun backstory.
It's all right.
Shush.
My name is Venrith. I am 53 years old. I'm gaunt looking. My skin color is very gray. My hair is black. My eyes are green. I'm 1.8 meters tall, weighing 60 kilograms. I have no hair on any of my body, and I walk with a limping gait.
Ooh.
My backstory is I am from the Void World, and when I was very young, our ship screwed up their space jump and were rocketed into basically a deathly void of asteroids and things like that, and so the ship crashed and it killed my entire family, and it like severely injured my body. I was probably like 5 or 6 years old, and the tech priests were part of the people that were not in the side of the ship that got the worst damage, and so the survivors they found and kind of brought back to life as part of their group by putting in the mechanical. So like 40% of my body is mechanical things. I have a respirator. I have you can't really see it often, but under my left arm is another mechanical arm that I generally wrap around my chest, like a belt. And so I basically was raised by them, and I am used as one of their assassins in order to find tech information for the lost tech that's
Information.
of their hunt for the lost information of tech.
Solid. That's a cool story.
How did you meet the Inquisitor?
I don't know, because I'm not.
You don't have to have anything currently.
I
was
would
just curious.
prefer not to share.
That's none of your business.
That's none of your
That's
woman.
your
business.
prerogative,
That's none of the wax for your bees.
youngin.
Is there some loose dice over there, Tanner?
There is some.
Oh, I've got some.
There's some extra here too.
Oh yes, I wanted the white one too.
There you are.
Perfect. That's all I needed.
My name is Haxtus Kane.
All right.
Haxtus Kane, and I am from the Hive world as well. I am a ganger, and let's see, I have two particular quirks. I have a hump, just a slight one, just a slight hump, and I think it's been from like my sleuthing in other parts of the Hive, which I'll discuss in just a second. I also got an electro tattoo, which glows a kind of like cross between like that ghostly green / blue that can come from like those glow in the dark pieces, but it's a little bit more blue than that. The tattoo itself is of constellations seen from Earth, which I have never seen but know of their importance and reference because this is like further down the line in the backstory, but we'll get there. So they're constellations from Earth. And then I'm scrawny. I am 5'7". I weigh 121 pounds. My skin is dyed charcoal, so it is a kind of like really deep dark gray. And then I have black hair. I have an enhanced lens over my eye that allows it to be seen as scarlet, so it's like this kind of bright red color, and I am 29 years old. And as far as my backstory is concerned, I have a memory of my parents and of having a small brother that was just like a year behind me. But I do not know what happened to that brother. We got separated when my parents were taken as, I don't even know where they went. Like, I have no concept of like where they were taken from, but I know that we were separated on our world. And during the first little while, I tried to take care of my brother, but couldn't. And he was also taken by someone who was essentially bigger and stronger than me in our home world. The situation that I found myself in was essentially being a small kind of runty type person. It was either join with a gang in my Hive world or it was die. And what I learned very quickly was that I was good at being fast and good at being stealthy, and I really heavily invested in that. So what I did is I dyed my skin so that I could hide in the shadows and lurk behind, but kept the electro tattoo so that if I needed to, I could read things, and that was the defining characteristic that separated me from everyone else, is I could read and I could write. I invested in learning about common lore about the Imperium and the Underworld, so that I could be knowledgeable not only of how to live on the streets, but then I could engage with the Imperium as well.
I love it.
Dude, I feel like I'm learning so much about like what a good backstory. I know. This is awesome.
And then let's see, my primary focus is essentially in like my asset to my gang and my rival gang, which I have not come up with the name yet. I'll come up with the name, it'll be there. My primary asset is the ability to essentially con people into thinking that I am more important than I am. Like, I have the ability to convince higher nobles within hives that I actually belong there as either a servant or something like that. I'm kind of trying to work my way up to conning them into the idea that I am actually a member of a noble family. I haven't been successful in that yet. I've usually been caught in that endeavor. But given my agility and speed, I have been able to avoid any further detection. So that is my backstory as to how I know the Inquisitor. Is that a piece that I need to have vetted?
Not necessarily,
Okay.
as Cody said, but I just was curious.
Okay.
So it's always good. So are we going to invest in that you are brothers?
I mean, I don't want to impose that on you.
I had no idea that the
Yeah.
names lined up.
Honestly, I'm super down with that.
Okay. Well, because Kane is the only family. That's the only thing that I know about my past. Is other than the flashbulb memory of my parents being taken away from us and then losing you very shortly thereafter, or brother. The only thing I retained was the knowledge that my last name was Kane. I even think my first name, Haxtus, is a name that I created, but the last name, the family name, is the one that I retained.
Ooh, that's really
So,
cool.
I have something that I'd like to present, and maybe we can accept this as lore.
Okay.
So your brother was taken,
Yes.
and your family was taken from you. Maybe they were
Yeah.
taken by the Adeptus Arbites.
Okay.
Maybe your brother
Mm-hmm.
was found innocent of the crimes that your parents were, but he was just there for the raid.
Hmm.
Maybe he was fostered in to an Arbite's family and trained up as an arbitrator from a young age. And
Okay.
and
Well, I love
if
that.
you are all three from the same hive, maybe the Inquisitor had been traveling with you for a while. We don't know how you met. You don't want to divulge. That's fine. But upon investigating here,
Mm-hmm.
maybe you had been in a con act with this psyker
Mm-hmm.
who had been just bullshizzing everybody,
Mm-hmm.
and in the process, part of the Arbite squad who was tasked by the Inquisitor to shut that down as a front to get the psyker got you as well, just as by chance as your brother was taken away.
Yeah.
And when they ran DNA tests, a member of their squad matched.
Look at that.
Do we know that?
That's what.
Yes. Well, if you accept that as
And
what
more
you...
then we would know that right now. We would
Right
possess
now.
all of that
Yeah,
information.
so you'd be like, you guys are still... So, here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, you all are rank 3 characters.
Mm-hmm.
So you would have worked together for maybe half a year.
Okay.
So this would have been knowledge that you would have found out
Like
prior...
6 months ago.
Yeah, prior to that. And maybe the Inquisitor, she pays attention to signs.
Mm-hmm.
She does do that. She's very passionate whenever she's involved in work, and she thinks that there's more to everything.
Mm-hmm.
And so having a coincidence like that would have really been enough for her to be like, I wanted you. You guys need to come.
Mm-hmm.
And then she would have extended that offer. And so maybe you accepted that, and now you, because maybe you wanted to both know each other as brothers. And so you're still like kind of fleshing that out, but now you're at least acquainted and you're on good terms.
Dude, I love that you're scum.
And you're both like opposing classes, and so you've had to kind of work together. And maybe there's friction, but you're brothers. And so that alone, you guys are willing to work past it because you've kept your name because your family's important to you.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not just going to throw that away.
Yeah.
And you're not going to just judge your brother too harshly because he's family.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Plus, you're younger.
I'm the baby.
Yeah, you're the baby, but you followed the good and righteous path. Or at least the police path, right?
The police
The whatever path.
The
Yeah.
whatever. And I followed the
Or whatever
the path that rocks.
Do you like that? Do you accept that? Is that fine?
I accept that. And our connection is that we were in on a con together,
Yes.
which the Inquisitor found out. Am I remembering that correctly from
So,
the reading
no,
of the Lord?
the Inquisitor just knew she had real powers.
Oh, okay.
But the con came up later.
But so, well, what it could have been is like I was there doing my entertaining of the nobles.
Yeah.
And you had approached me, and you were like, "All right, I know you do this. Can I go pickpocket these fools?" It's just something easy like that.
Right. I mean, I do have sleight of hand, which is like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
See, it all comes together.
Okay.
I don't like keys.
Explain to me again who the Inquisitor is, because I realize I'm not sure how to say I would reconnect because I don't fully understand.
So the
She's our
Inquisitor
boss.
is an agent of the Imperium who operates outside of the law to uphold the law. What?
Well, that's already pretty fitting for me.
And actually, at this point, we can go ahead and move forward, and information will come to you.
If you.
And also, you can know your Inquisitor very little, and still be successful working for them. So, moving forward.
Freaking out.
It's agree and disagree. Anyway, so the ride to Arkheim was uneventful. It took weeks, and you haven't been given much intel to base any kind of plans off of, really. As you tumble through the atmosphere in an old retired Imperial Guard transport towards the hive city of Arabellum, you reflect on the details that you have been given.
Sorry, they both went. When you said Arabella.
Perfect.
So
I appreciate
it. Was
it.
just entertaining.
Inquisitor Veronica Hans has been missing for weeks.
Veronica Hans.
She is the Inquisitor. This is grave news, as she is your Inquisitor. You've only worked with her for a short time, but she has an undeniably brilliant mind. She's known for her passion in investigation and battlefield alike. Few dare oppose her when she is on the hunt. You know her to be a tall woman, black hair and green eyes. I planned this a long time ago. Gray eyes. It's fine. It's fine.
Never mind.
She's almost always wearing a light armor and a cloak topped with a wide-brimmed hat. Her outfit's nothing short of filled with tools for any occasion.
So she looks like Carmen Sandiego.
But black clothing.
But like dark and scary.
Yeah, grim dark. There's like a candle on her head or something. There's a member.
We're already pulling in the accents.
So I can't talk. This is well known. There's a member of the local cult imperialist named Bishop Damien Pyreheart. He states he states that he was working with Hans on purging a particularly nasty sore of mutants out of the industrial sectors. Hans found something that prompted her to take 30 veteran enforcers into the Underhive. Where she went, Pyreheart did not say, only that none of them returned. Though Pyreheart has continued the work they set out to do, the mutant problem has only gotten worse. Plague numbers are rising, Arkheim's tithe is being affected, and strange graffiti is being found throughout the Arabellum hive.
It's because it was melting.
So, the ship comes down through a thickly polluted atmosphere that you can see through one of the tiny viewports out the side of the troop transport. And as it comes down for what you could call a gentle landing, the drop door hisses open, and they start to do their post-flight checklist. The savant who was helping you all earlier comes forward and she says, "You are free to depart. Your trip was already paid in full."
I should think so.
It's fine. I could pay for it if I needed to.
Congratulations. Yeah. Let's see.
I have 6 thrones left. I'm going to say thanks for the ride and flip 1 throne right at this person.
She doesn't catch it, and it tumbles across the deck. And you know she's poor because she scrambles for it. Odd or even.
Oh, odd.
The coin tumbles through a grate in the deck, and she claws at it and is not able to get it.
I'm just going to give her the rest of my thrones. Not play. Oh, here you go. Fine.
She tries to tell you that you don't need to, that it's unnecessary.
I'm going to say it's fine.
She weeps and heads to the other side of the ship.
I'm uncomfortable, so I'm glad she leaves.
I look at my brother, I'm like, why are you like this?
I'm sorry.
That's it.
It was burning a hole in my pocket.
Do a sleight of hand test.
A sleight of hand.
Oh, no.
No, not what you think. Plus 20. Oh, crit 4. Yeah, so you just come down real quick and slide your scrawny little fingers through the vent, and you get the coin.
It's gone. Oh no.
Okay, so do we have... It sounded like we had a lead.
Yeah, to go visit the bishop.
Yes.
And Bishop is in Underhive? Was that the information that we had?
No, the Inquisitor went to the Underhive.
Inquisitor went to the Underhive.
He's in a place.
I can't remember. I know we're supposed to meet with this bishop because he had some information for us, right?
Mm-hmm. You don't know where to go yet,
Oh.
but you're just on the ship.
Oh, Savant! Wait, come back! Do you have...
It's like wiping tears.
Hey, do you know where the bishop's house is?
I've never been to this world.
Oh.
But
Do you have...
she turns and looks out the back of the drop door, and you see this shape of a hive rising in a polluted distance, obscured by clouds of nasty. She's like, I bet it's that way.
Hey guys, it's that way.
Thanks. Can you remind me of your name, brother, before I forget?
It's Eli.
Eli. Of
Mhm.
course it is.
Why?
Our parents. Par for the course.
And this is just like a universe out of game thing, in Warhammer, places of worship, do they look similar to like Gothic architectural?
Sometimes. Do an awareness test with that thought.
I got 33, and my awareness is 37. Holla.
As you squint into the haze that covers miles of land before reaching the base of the hive, you see what you think to be the outline of a saint, a statue that must be hundreds of meters in height at the base of the hive.
Methinks that's where we need to go.
Sounds good to me.
I support that. We have miles to go, though, to the base.
Is there a ground vehicle?
You're in the ship.
Can the ship
Okay.
fly
Can we get over there?
Oh, the ship's just supposed to land here. It only had clearance for here.
I just gave her 5 thrones.
But is the ship big enough to have anything else on it, or is it
You were
just
just
passengers?
getting passage.
Okay.
Can we see outside the ship? Like, what is around the ship where we've landed?
So in your immediate vicinity, do a perception test. I'll give you a plus 20. Everybody, if you want.
Didn't get that one.
Nope.
Plus 20, really?
I rolled.
Oh wait, yeah, I'm good.
Crit 5.
Crit 5. Cool.
Nice.
34.
34.
What's your perception?
Probably passed because I
My
gave you a plus 3.
perception. Sorry, perception is
You were trying to
35.
be 55.
Yeah, so you're good.
You're good.
So, you can see a landing pad in your immediate vicinity that the ship is resting on. Below that, it looks like industrial sectors of the planet stretch out before you. You can see all manner of machinery. There's different stacks spewing their pollutants into the air. And you can actually see kind of like the fuzzy outlines of different crowds and people laboring and stuff. The buildings aren't like super tall here. They get much taller towards the hive. And a long road stretches out before you towards the hive. And there is a ground car traveling towards the landing pad. Civilian, no guns.
Is that for us?
I don't see anything.
The car, the car pulls around and comes to a stop right in front of the landing pad.
I think we should look for transportation.
I think we should ask them if we can either take their vehicle or if they can give us a ride back to the hive.
How about I take up that challenge of talking to this
You're
person?
good with talking, right? Why don't you just go tell them we need a ride?
I will approach the person in the car.
So he has
exiting
gotten
the
out
ship.
of the car,
Okay.
and he has, he looks more worker status, but nicer, and he actually has various gray furs draped about his shoulders, and he's wearing just like a standard hat, and it looks like he's got like a partially cybernetic like attachment on his face that's maybe securing his jaw. And he steps out and he lights a cigar, and he looks at you and he's like, "Are you the acolytes?"
Yes, we are.
Perfect, hang on. And he reaches back in his car. He's like, let it for you.
For your eyes only.
I'm literate, so.
How awkward would that have been?
I'm
I
also
have
literate.
literacy.
Well, I was born in the scum world.
So we're more literate.
There's a knot on the back.
Okay, thank you. I didn't. Okay. To the
Just
acolytes
rips it.
of the Inquisitor Hunts from D.
Unliterate.
Pyreheart. From B. Pyreheart. B. Pyreheart.
B.
Yeah,
Pyreheart.
B. Pyreheart. Okay.
Bishop Pyreheart.
Yeah, his first name is
He's-
Bishop. He's actually
he's a
not even
beast.
religious at all. He's literally
His first
just.
name is Davian.
It's a common misconception.
You'll probably have to break the seal.
I was gonna say, do I have to break the seal?
It's fine.
I'm nervous.
Pull it up, yeah.
Oh my gosh. It
The
like
wax
rips
is stronger
right
than the rope. I thought you were literate. You've never broken a wax.
Oh my god!
We're just watching him struggle to open the letter.
Listen, I am 5'7" and 120 pounds.
He's like, I can read. I can read.
I can read, damn it. Okay, we're almost there.
Can I slip out a knife?
Oh my gosh.
It's
No.
fine. I put 2 pieces of paper.
It was so beautiful. Okay. Welcome, acolytes and fellow friends of the Emperor. I am Bishop Pyreheart, he who sent... Oh my gosh, you might have to help me. He who sent word to you with the great concern regarding the disappearance of Inquisitor Veronica Hans. In truth, her going missing is only one catastrophe in a sea of many. I pray we can clear away the darkness that clouds the truths to all Arkheim's terrible mysteries. It grieves me that you must come at all, thank you. But I believe you are the hammer and bolter, thank you, we have been praying for during these long months. I have two. Faith is what we all must cling to. It is my hope that you will join me in the high towers of thank you, Alta. We must discuss how to purge the blight from our faithful planet and offer what vengeance we can for those who did Inquisitor Hans harm. I will be humbly awaiting your arrival in the Arabella Grand Cathedral. The Holy God Emperor protects. Be
Amen.
Wow,
Pyreheart.
I feel
Hallelujah.
inspired by that voice.
Good.
That was a little bit too sensual for a bishop.
But
He's one of like the hot bishops.
Why am I slightly
you coach him how
aroused?
to trick nobles. You went a little too far this time.
A little too far this time. Okay, so we need to meet him at the Arabella Grand Cathedral. That is where we need to go. But I'm assuming that our gentleman who just handed this letter we can inquire of. Do you know how to get us to the Arabella Grand Cathedral? Are you the transport arranged by Bishop Pyreheart?
I am,
Great.
and I can give you a ride wherever you want to go. I will be your escort, but only for the evening.
Excellent. Should we head out? Do we need to do anything else before we go?
I think we got all
The
our
drop-
gear.
The drop gate on the ship is actually raised
Oh.
at this point, and it looks like they're doing a pre-flight takeoff.
Got it.
Pre-flight takeoff.
So checklist.
Sure.
What about our
You can
gal?
see
that
in the
was
little window her going. Is there any other people around that I can see?
Not well. Yeah, there are workers here.
Workers and
Yeah. There's people even going around the side of the ship, like checking in. They got flashlights and stuff.
Is there any way that I could kind of study the way they move and interact as like the people who kind of like this grouping of this civilization of people?
Keep going. What are you looking for?
Basically, because of my assassinness, I want to already be starting to try and watch things so that I have the idea of how to blend in amongst these people and know what their kind of general mingling is.
Mhm.
Wow.
So these people seem very docile. They're tired. Everybody's laboring. They all look kind of grim-faced. There's interactions occasionally. No one's really laughing. Doesn't look like a humorous bunch. Just passive overall for the most part.
Okay.
I just want to work, complain about the weather, and go home. So, are you all getting in the ground car?
I'm gonna get in the ground car.
I'm getting in the ground car. I'm getting in the front seat of the ground
Oh
car.
gosh. damn
Is there
it.
anyone else already in the car?
No.
Okay.
Nope, just the driver.
3 of us in the back. I'll sit on the hump because I'm scrawny.
Okay, I'll
Perfect.
sit in the back. Yeah.
So as you start working your way up this highway, if you will, do an awareness test, Mr. Front Seat Guy.
Where
And I'll give you a +10, and then anybody from the back seat can do it too, but at a -10.
Okay, can I do a quick meta level question? I'm misunderstanding the rolling here. So what is a good roll? What am I trying to accomplish with my rolling? That's what I am not quite
No
understanding
worries.
here.
So, for instance, what is your perception skill?
So my perception skill is 35 right now.
So when I say a plus 10, that means it's a 45 now.
Okay.
And what you're trying to do
Mhm.
is roll underneath your attributes.
Okay, gotcha. So I'm trying to get
Roll
lower
lower
numbers
than.
tend to be better. Okay.
Yes.
But then whenever we roll weapon damage, you want high numbers. And so
Okay.
there's different ways that we'll use the dice.
Gotcha. So I'm trying to roll under 45 right now.
Mhm.
Correct.
Okay. Got it. Thank you.
Yes.
I roll 54.
Nothing for
I
you.
did get it
I
with
got
the
it
minus
too.
10.
Cool.
I didn't see anything.
I got 16.
There's actually, not too far up the road, there is a scuffle going on. It looks like, security forces infiltrating a little factory area. And there's flashes of gunfire.
Oh.
Are you sharing that with us?
Well, I was just gonna ask the driver, like, has there been a lot of disturbances going on in this area? What's that little scuffle over there about?
Oh, it's probably another mutant purge. The plague's been getting the best of everyone. It's probably for the best. They're everywhere.
When you say mutants,
Oh, the bastard filth of the Imperium.
When you say plague, is this something unique to this world, or is this something...
I've never been off-world, but...
Well, then tell me about the plague. What's happening when the plague happens?
Oh, people are sick. People are dying from sickness. People's flesh is mutating. Their minds are mutating. People are going mad.
So is the plague connected to the mutation?
Seems so.
Okay.
Does everyone who gets sick acquire a mutation?
I haven't been around it enough, otherwise I'd have it, so couldn't tell you.
So it's...
They just tell us, don't touch the sick, report the sick.
who tells you?
Oh, we hear it in the news, it's on the radio.
When you say don't touch the sick, you're referring to the sick people, right?
Mm-hmm.
And not just the sickness in general.
Yeah, mutation spreads.
Okay.
And what we're seeing here is some cooperative effort to get rid of those who are affected by the plague.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Are there places in the hive where it's more common?
Yes, actually. So, yeah, we've been told, and this is just the information that I know. Yeah, the Delta and Epsilon sectors, for Delta, subsector 3 and 5 are offline. For Epsilon, subsector 6 is offline. Overrun by mutants. And then, of course, there's the Underhive, and Emperor knows what goes on down there. It's all mad and lawless.
That was the Delta sector and the which one?
Ruled by
3,
gangs,
5, and
scum.
6.
You say that like it's a bad thing.
Well, of course it's a bad thing. We don't need criminals here. It messes with the economy.
Or it helps.
That's true.
Depends on which side of the economy. That's scum.
So I'm pretty sure so far he's offended a couple of you.
Great.
Except that his opinion isn't really that important.
No, he's just a driver.
He's just...
He'll just get like a 3-star rating on Lyft.
Who
It's
knows?
like, this
So you
guy,
said he's a
this guy
worker.
wasn't good.
He could show up dead tomorrow.
He's a worker, right?
Yeah.
I have a pure worker.
Pure.
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 Pierre. Pear.
Pure.
I'm just gonna ask him and be like, speaking of scum in the underworld, do you know anyone that maybe has like more information about the Underhive, or maybe people that we can get in contact with that could help us accomplish our mission?
I have no idea. and he like looks out the window a little bit. You guys are you're driving past where this enforcer altercation's happening.
No. Do you think they need help? Worker? I don't know.
I keep my nose out of junk. Whether you wanted to look at it.
Should we just keep going to the bishops, or should we stop?
Can we stop and see more of what's happening?
You want to hear the interaction between the people?
I kind of want to see how they're treating them.
I would just assume keep going, but if you two want to, then we can stop.
I don't want to get infected.
I don't want to get involved.
Yeah.
That's a risk that's
It's
unnecessary.
really important to keep a low profile a lot of the time, and us getting involved might deter that.
Yeah, our objective is to get to our Inquisitor.
That's true.
So if you guys want to, though, if you feel strongly about it, then let's do it.
Well,
But-
I mean, because
I don't feel strongly, but
you were watching people to see how they act. I mean, if you could see how the mutants are acting, maybe that could help you identify people who are mutants who are pretending to not be mutants.
right. I feel like,
Mhm.
especially because of the Underhive, that understanding the civil relationships going on right now might be useful. Because I feel like we're gonna, depending on the bishop, but I feel like the likelihood of this planet, our information might be more useful from people more connected to an Underhive than to the Over.
I do have underworld knowledge, like witches underhive knowledge. So
Ooh.
So we might be a little bit. We might have a little bit of an upper hand on that.
How far out of the way is this interaction happening? Like, would we be
right.
able to?
So it's on this highway. It's not really necessarily a highway. It's just like a busy road. It's just an access point for the industry, for the industrial sector. And so this altercation is like right here. Like you could pull over.
Right. As I was, could we pull over and just watch it for a minute, maybe from a distance, not get
from
involved,
inside the car.
or wherever the
Basically,
best
the
vantage
vehicle?
point is. So maybe we're not directly entering into the interaction, but just seeing if we get any information about watching it happen.
And he's not going to go anywhere.
He's like, yeah, I can stop. And
Okay.
pulls over. And
Just for example, I just want to get the best vantage point to just watch like 5 minutes of it. I just want to see.
do some sort of perception tests.
I would also like to ask him how they. Well, I'd like to ask him a question. Okay. How do they determine who's a mutant and who is not? I mean, obviously, there are physical. Obviously, it can show itself physically, but not always. So, how do they decide?
Well, I don't know what the first signs are, but they say that you go insane after a week, you mutate after a day of being touched by someone contagious,
Oh.
and so I think somebody can be contagious for up to a day without knowing, and then how many people do you interact with?
Okay.
So there's that.
I have my long loss. Can I use its scope to get a better perception?
Yeah, so you're sitting there, and you two are like sitting there trying to look out the window, and then he just nudges you out of the way with his gun.
Oh!
Except that I see things. So.
they're literally right there.
Well, sorry, I really did mean to ask distance before I did that.
They're like right
Like,
outside the car.
They're literally right outside the car. Why don't you put the gun
Fine,
down?
I just want
Get it, you have a big gun, alright?
What's your name?
to
Not to-
Venrith.
Okay, I've got to come up with a nickname for you.
Venny.
Just call him Vent.
Benjamin.
I want some. Well, because like you're like a thing that has like
I
tons
know.
of machinery
I
attached.
do
to
wear
it, right?
robes. I'm pretty covered, but yeah, I have like mechanical.
There's mechanical stuff
Yeah, you
poking
can
out.
see mechanical things.
Okay, I'll think on it.
Hey, Roby. I don't know.
Hey, Roomba.
Oh, you can call me like Tin Can or something.
Ooh, I know Arnold. You're like the Terminator.
Ah,
This is a really far removed reference.
Okay.
Okay, Arnold.
Nope.
they're too close.
Yeah.
Okay, are we all doing a perception check or just him?
Anybody who wants to look.
Okay, I want to look.
Did you pass or fail?
I passed.
I passed 32. It's under my
Oh,
perception.
this is a plus 20, by the way. Does that
Oh.
help?
Oh, no, I still
I
fail.
passed.
It's still great.
I passed.
fail.
I
Okay.
passed.
And
We
then
all
you
passed.
Oh, yeah.
So I pulled out my scope and
I
it's
did
like
a
5 feet
16.
away.
You're like,
I just see a blur gray thing.
This whole conversation is happening while he's like,
I
I
can
can't
only
say
see
anything.
someone's hand, you know?
All right, so
I can't
This is-
say.
this is awesome.
Methuselah.
And then I wanted to stop and I'm like, my cataract.
Maybe it's time for an upgrade.
All right, so it looks like the battle's really at an end. There's lots of corpses through here, and it looks like many carry minor forms of mutation. There's somebody who is being kind of pulled back into the building, and it looked like his head had mutated. He had like kind of a shark mouth, and his head had been open like way wide, and that body's getting dragged back in there. And you see other signs of mutation, such as like somebody's getting like they're burning a corpse that has a bunch of fish guts spilling out of it. There's somebody in there that has like tentacles coming off their face. You see, people with like open wounds and sores. There's somebody with like a claw arm.
So all the mutations that we're seeing seem to be aquatically related.
Yes.
Okay. Open wounds and sores, though, do they just appear to be something like a person with any other form of general illness would possess,
No,
or
they look
is
like
it
barnacles or crustaceans,
okay?
Oh yeah.
but they're weeping.
What is the do we know what the main purpose of this planet is? Do we know that information?
It's an industrial world.
It creates something.
And like fishing.
Fish.
and-
It like creates like fish
There-
packets, doesn't it?
yeah, so it exports corpse rations, red carp, and anchor squid.
Corpse rations.
Yeah, so in the Imperium, they have little time for graves and burials. So your corpse, if it's deemed useful, will be used as use for a servitor. So they'll reanimate your body to serve a servant purpose.
It's not food.
If
Okay.
if a body's obliterated and your head is intact, the skulls are used as servo skulls or floating mechanical apparatuses that perform a single task. And then if the body's really of no use, and in most cases, because a lot of the worlds don't have the tech for it, they will kind of refine your corpse into a protein paste food that you would be using in like a similar like a ration, C-ration, MRE packet style meal that is served and shipped by the millions to everybody in the Imperium.
And that can be of like humanoids, other entities. So essentially, we're all cannibalizing at this point. Is that what I'm understanding? Okay.
Yeah, unless you're from an agri world where they actually have vegetables, but those are rare commodities.
Got it. Okay. Great. Just want to make sure I had a picture there.
Yeah. Yep. So honestly, for an underhand scummer, some corpse rations would probably be a little bit better than getting McDonald's for you. It'd be a little fancier than what you're typically used to eating. You're probably used to eating like gutter rats and.
Is there a smell that we're getting off these corpses?
Windows are up. Actually, this one's like
Oh.
click click.
Oh.
Yeah, it smells fishy.
Yeah.
But you also notice when you do that there's actually like it looks like graffiti on the inside of the walls on the back of this factorum.
Can I see what it looks like?
Or if it says something.
Well, it looks like a human head with a squid face.
David Jones.
I'm gonna
Ooh,
bring
can
that
I-
up. Yeah.
Oh, and I had some other information for you before. We keep going. It looks like so some of the enforcers here, anybody who was not mutant but who was injured, it looks like they're going to extensive lengths to make sure they're clean. People who like maybe took a bite in the arm are like cutting the arm off. They're categorizing like anything that they can, and there's like an extensive like check yourself before they are really like setting these corpses on fire and stuff.
Okay.
And a lot of the enforcers have shields to like It looked like to try to like keep people back, kind of thing, like a riot gear kind of.
Since I passed my perception test, do I also see the graffiti?
Mhm.
Cool. Can I do a scholastic lore occult test for that?
Maybe. Go ahead and do a scholastic lore test.
Ooh. Dang it. I super don't pass. I am.
Graffiti might not be clear enough.
I would like to fake point it.
You can fake point that. Your breath was fogging the window, so you wiped that out of the way.
Crit 4.
Yeet.
Based on where you have been and what you have seen, this definitely could be for the occult.
Alright.
It's weird. They have a fish face on that skull.
Tentacle.
Yeah,
Squid
tentacles.
face.
Squid face.
Yeah.
Never seen a fish in real life. Was that what they look like?
I think the only person who probably wouldn't have seen a fish is that guy. Mr. Voidborn.
The driver,
And I cannot see anything.
he cracks his window, puffs his cigar, and blows it out the crack, and he's like, "We good to go? I don't want to stick around."
I'm good.
Cool. And he pops it in gear and moves on. So as he's driving towards the hive, you're getting closer to where Arkheim is. Well, to where Arabellum Hive is. And you see smokestacks throughout the industrial sectors mixing with the nightly meridian layer to form a bleak haze that, of course, smells like fish and the dead. Peaking towers, partially obscured by the haze, seem to pierce right up out of the ocean. In typical Hive City fashion, the constructs dominate the land. The ocean must be frigid, though, because large chunks of ice can be seen bobbing to and fro at sea. So this hive rests against the sea. The ice has actually even creeped up on one side of the hive, giving the city a cliff-like foundation with which to tower over the water. The ice is probably formed from years of waves crashing against the hive's walls. So this car approaches the gates of the city, and you were correct. There is the statue of a saint that towers over everything, and any awareness you see the driver. He just kind of glances at it and shakes his head as he's driving towards the gates, and
Yes, I want to ask, but I also don't want to be nosy. Except that my character wouldn't care. So
be nosy. Be your character.
Okay. You seem to have opinions about that statue.
Well, the saint.
Yeah.
Saint Arabella, hallowed be her name, is the worst thing that could have happened to this world.
Why is that?
Well, she failed in her conquest to try to aid the armies of the Emperor, and then finding that she couldn't replenish her armies, dedicated Arkheim to servitude and providing the Imperium with resources. It was a beautiful world once. Now it's just ash and ocean. So, praise the saints.
What was her mission that she failed?
She just lost a battle, lost a bunch of troops, and couldn't replenish, and
So she
was
had
a
to make
fanatic and
restitution.
wanted to serve the Emperor, so here we are.
Hmm.
And now I get to drive you around.
Did you know the world before?
No, that was 800 some odd years ago, but There's talk about it, and of course we have to pay our tithe to that statue.
What kind of tide?
Oh, our services and our income. It all goes for the glory of the Crusades.
Are there a lot of people that share your opinion?
You can talk to anyone. You think we want to pack fish and the dead all day? It's a bleak world, made bleaker.
You're right.
So he's driving you through the hive. At this point, he gets you to the upper echelons and pulls you up to the Grand Cathedral. And he's like, and of course, the Grand Cathedral of Saint Arabella. Of course, the nobles like to stick to this area. It's the only place with any any life to it. But as always, been a pleasure serving you.
Before we go, can I ask who sent you to get us?
Oh, the bishop himself. I never talk to him, but of course I get word. I just drive the car.
Who handed off word?
Oh, one of his secretaries.
Okay.
Who do you work for specifically?
Oh, I'm just a city driver, so I just take people around to where they need to go if they have government status, and I know that you all are sent on behalf of the Inquisition. Whatever that role is, I don't want to know, but I am available.
Has he shared his name with us yet? I would like to ask his name. And what's your name?
Oh, yeah, it's Marcus.
Marcus.
Could we use you again if we needed to? If we needed another driving service?
I'm around. Yeah, you'd just have to get hold of me through Vox or send a cherubim or something.
Okay.
I want to give him 3 gold as we get out. The 3 thrones.
He looks at the gold and looks at you and he's like, "You sure?" He's like, "Well, much obliged. It's rare that anybody has manners."
I just nod to him.
He's commenting on manners.
Yeah, I know. Cool.
Bye. Hope you find your dad.
Cool. So you are standing before the Grand Cathedral in the upper hives. And at this point, you can turn around and look. And there's towers and stuff behind you. You've come up winding roads. And there was an elevator at some point. And you are just thousands of meters above the ground at this point. You're poking the clouds. It took you several hours to get to this point. And this Grand Cathedral, like you stand and you just look up, and even in the top of the hive, this thing is hundreds of feet tall. And the outside has the traditional Gothic architecture of the Imperium, but you can tell through looking through the windows and the stained glass that the wealth of the planet has been put into these, and it looks inviting inside. There's a warmth, and actually the doors are open and you can feel warmth, and it's the first sign of warmth that you've really felt on the planet. And it seems like, the nobles and the wealthy and religious are the only ones who enjoy such a commodity.
Is that the only type of people who are here?
The upper hive is reserved for the nobility, the governors, the people of importance, and of course the servants who aid them.
So regular citizens don't get to
You would not be allowed to the upper hive.
worship or anything.
Well, there would be, and this would be a common law Imperium test.
Okay, I don't have that.
I do.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just to kind of know.
Yeah, go ahead and bust it out. I'll give you plus 30.
Accessible to people.
Common Law Imperium. Okay, so 55 plus 30 on my intelligence.
So 67, you got a 55, so you
So
pass.
I passed it. Okay.
Yeah, so even in the Underhive, people can fanatically worship the God Emperor, and people find a way to be religious if that's what they want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And so cathedrals can be found on all of the hive levels, which you would know as hive worlders.
Mm.
They would just be a lot less ornate as you go down.
Okay.
And actually, like in the Underhives, it would probably be simply like a little altar of worship or something.
Cool.
Or a
Ooh,
candle.
I've never been to the Upper Hive before.
I know. I don't think I've ever been able to get past the Middle Hive.
Didn't know it existed.
I just feel very out of place here.
Are there
But you have your
My fur armor.
well,
Your
plus
farmer.
you like even remembering your backstory, like even though you haven't,
Yeah.
you've tried to convince people that you're a little
got
bit
my swagger.
fancier. Yeah, like
Yeah.
You've craved it a little bit.
you're like, this is where.
Yeah.
That's definitely what I'm thinking, anyways. I'm like, finally, people worthy of my talent. Except I hang out with them all the time, just as a magic trick.
Magic trick.
Is there
Oh.
two things? One, are there a lot of nobles around that we see, like, or is it kind of empty or
It's quite populated.
quite populated?
Even
Today.
even in night. Which it is night.
Just want to do a quick skim of how these people act differently than the first people I saw, if they do.
Perfect. So do an awareness test. Or a search or evaluate if you have that. I'm trying to throw some skills at you could use.
I have no skills. Just tell me which test and I'll do it.
Perception.
Do a perception test.
Nope, failed that.
So yeah, you're not really noticing too much.
Can I look
But what I
around?
could tell you would be, seems like a lot of the nobles either have servants trailing them, or there are workers up here too, but they're dressed a little better. Same faces.
Can I have search as well? Can I also look around for con purposes to get a sense of like the type of people that I'm dealing with, so I can
Sure. Yeah, go for it.
reassess my engagement? Okay, perception check. So I have search.
You have
got-
rolled terribly.
I did roll terribly, so I won't be able. So having the skill doesn't actually do anything for me per se, right?
Well, so
Yeah,
you can get
5
plus
fate
10s and plus
points.
20 later.
Say that one more time.
You can get like plus 10s and plus 20s to that later.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And I would have given you a plus 20 just to
Yeah,
do
there's-
that,
I
but you
would
rolled,
not. Yeah.
rolled really bad.
Yep.
So if you want to fate point it, that's great. If not,
Yeah.
that's fine.
Pass on that.
Okay. Perfect.
Should
Are
we go
you entering?
inside?
I'm going in. I'm excited.
Cool. Yeah. So you guys go in, and it is much warmer in here, and it's just like, oh man. And there is like a bunch of singing and stuff going on. There's actually like nobody in here sitting at the pews or anything, but you see clouds of cherubim. So when babies die, they make you mechanical, and you go around and sing praises to the god emperor. It's terrible, but they,
That's amazing.
so yeah, you see like baby choruses, just cherubim like just flying along the ceiling, and they're just like, and just like doing their thing, sending messages of praise.
Wow.
And you see different ecclesiarchal staff going around cleaning or worshiping or pondering. It seems very that way. I don't know.
What is this? Are we in the church?
Oh, and at the back of the church
Cathedral.
is another giant statue of the saint in a different posture. This one, she looks like she's praying and looking upwards.
Is this a cathedral to her or a cathedral? This is a cathedral to her, right?
Cathedral to her,
As opposed to a cathedral
on behalf
to,
of the god.
on
God.
behalf of the god emperor. Okay.
Is there a worker around?
Ecclesiarchal staff member.
Oh. I wouldn't make that joke to an ecclesiastical staff member. Maybe. It's tempting.
He's more scum than he knows.
Would you like to ask for the bishop?
Sure. Is there someone around? Have we found somebody?
Yeah, there's people.
I'd love to try and ask somebody. The nearest person that looks like there might be a staff member.
Yeah, so somebody turns around. They've got cream-colored robes on, tied with a simple sash.
Right.
And this person's got graying hair and kind of a wiry, bushy beard.
Okay.
Look at you and they're like, "Well, what can I do for fellow servants of the God Emperor?"
I show them the letter that we have that possesses the seal from the bishop. And I say, we're looking for Bishop Pyreheart. How can we get to him?
He'll be on the top floor in the office region.
Excellent. And stairs, elevator. What's the best way to get there?
Oh, in the biggest form of humility, we take the stairs.
Understood.
You will find them located on the east and west sides of the chapel.
Wait, but is there an elevator?
No.
Oh.
With your limping gait.
I'm humble enough.
Humble enough.
Cool. And so are you headed to the top?
I gotta lubricate my lung so it doesn't get stuck. It's like this.
Before-
I have a lubrication packet I hand over to you.
Before we go, I ask if he has any advice before we go to meet the bishop.
What kind of advice are you looking for?
Whatever advice you think would be valuable for folks who are just trying to do their job.
Just be your pure and honest self, brother.
Oh,
Rude.
finally, we can be ourselves. Oh, we had to be okay. Hey, whose butt do we have to kiss to get a statue? Am I right?
Great. Thank you. We'll
He's like looking at you like.
This is where we leave you.
As I'm lubricating my lung.
He makes the symbol of the cool and he's like, the God Emperor protects.
I do not respond in kind.
He's like,
I say, yeah, protection or whatever.
He goes,
Oh,
blasphemy.
I can't use it for that. I wanted to use precognition. I just tell this guy how he was gonna die, just to freak him out.
Oh, just do soothsayer.
Oh yeah.
Just total BS him. You don't have to actually know.
That's freaking funny.
Oh, I crit whatever it is. Crit 6. Oh
All right, roleplay this.
gosh. Brother, it's wonderful to see you in good health. Unfortunately. And I take his hand. It won't be for much longer. May the God Emperor bless and keep you.
You said you wanted to tell him how he died.
No,
Tell me how.
I don't want to tell him how he dies. I just want to tell him that he's gonna. I just want to freak him out a little bit. Just have a little fun.
Okay.
I mean, there's like mutant crap going on everywhere.
Oh yeah, you rolled a 98 to see through that.
So he doesn't.
And his face like visibly pales, and he goes, "Oh, I must pray," and like turns to go.
She's never been wrong before.
Oh my gosh, you told someone else they were gonna die.
Shut up. We haven't been working together long, but you should know by now.
Shall we?
So far, I will award 50 XP to everybody for your interactions thus far.
Oh, I made a little stat on my phone, so I didn't have to constantly erase. Pung, pung.
Perfect. Cool. So you climb the winding staircases, if that's what you wish to do.
Well,
Yes.
Cool. And they're open and exposed to the air. So as you're climbing with the height of the saint. And as you walk out onto the second to last floor, you're up with eye level of the saint, and you can see that there's different catwalks that go across the roof and whatever, and then there's one more level to go. And you go up there, and that area is like sealed off, and it's offices and stuff. And there's a grand office with a library full of scrolls and various snippets of parchment. There's different cherubim up here and servo skulls. There's some that are just recording and copying books, transcribing the iconography of like the High Gothic, like kind of Latinish language. And then there's a grand desk made of real wood, which is impressive because it doesn't look like they really have much of that going on. They also use wood in the pews, but this is a nicer wood to support the work of the bishop.
Is he at the desk? Where's the desk? Right
There is a man at the desk. and he pauses in writing something with a big frilled quill. And he stands and he looks at you and he says, "Acolytes, welcome!" And
Wow, that was loud.
he's fat, he's stocky, and he has long gray hair that he like kind of stoops back like this, and and you can tell that he has like kind of an olive skin tone, but it's been dyed white, and it's actually kind of a chalky white, ironically enough. But it looks like it's almost like in a war paint status fashion. Very heavy on the hands and the face, but it weakens along the neck and the upper arms. And his eyes pierce with a yellow light. And he's not an old man. He's 37, but well, actually, that's old for Hive standards. And then
I'm really old.
and he has a bit of a hacking cough. So after he finishes his sentence, he's like, "Come closer, welcome." And he like closes this big freaking book and slides it to the edge of his desk.
We trepidatiously approach. I trepidatiously approach.
Hello!
I'm not liking that cough.
I wrap my cloak a little tighter.
Can I do a scrutiny test just to see if like he's actually happy to see us and like he's not gonna kill us as soon as we sit down?
Yeah, do a scrutiny test.
Oh nope.
Cool. Yeah, you don't know. But what I will give you is, as he walks around the edge of the desk, one of his legs is severed, and he's got and you would know this, very poor quality cybernetic. Like, it's just not the best, but it's kind of been doled up to look good, but you know it's just not that good. And it looks like some of the cybernetics kind of work up into the bottom of his rib cage, and maybe that's where the cough comes from. You don't know, but it doesn't appear to be from sickness.
Does it look recent?
No. Nope.
So we got your letter, and here we are.
Oh, good, excellent. Yes, we have much to talk about.
Wait, did we know that this is do we know that this is the bishop?
He addressed us in the same manner that the letter addresses us.
I mean,
That is a presumption I'm making.
it is a presumption. As a scum character, I would think you would be a little bit more paranoid. I'm definitely paranoid.
Clearly.
I'm 54,
So,
leave me alone.
please.
So
I haven't
these
lived this
are
long because I've been willy-nilly about my trust.
these are the acolytes of Inquisitor Hans. Excellent. Well, what are your names? I'm Bishop Pyreheart.
I'm Eli.
Venrus.
Have I put you at odds? You don't seem very forthcoming.
Oh, sorry, I'm Hax. Yeah, sorry. Yes, Hax.
Hacks.
Yeah.
You can refer to me as Madam Zia.
Madam Zia. Okay.
All right.
Well, I know that these are grave circumstances, so I apologize for my eccentric tone. I'm used to being positive for people. No, I am very concerned about what's going on here. And he walks around to his desk and he sits back down and he's like, "Well, we have much to discuss, so I would like to. Maybe we can skip straight to business if you prefer."
Sure.
Time is of
That
the
would
essence,
work well.
as she has been gone much too long.
Months now.
Oh.
Yep.
Well, so yes, she's been gone months. I have not seen or heard anything from her. So I presume that she is lost to the Underhives. That being said, I mentioned a blight on Arkheim. There are plagues and mutants running rampant here, and I really have no idea why it's persisting like it has. We have done everything that we can to prove our worthiness to the God Emperor, but no matter our efforts, the mutations persist, and the mutations. We had a case last week where we found people in the mid-hive had mutations, and that is horrid. And so, really, I need your help in purging back these mutants.
Do you guys know what the
Cutting
source
hordes.
is? Or do you have like an idea?
I have no idea, but honestly, it started in the worker districts. And so whatever madness they're doing down there is rubbing off on everyone. But it's filthy and it needs to be dealt with. It doesn't really matter the source. You just gotta purge it all, really.
So no one's been infected at the upper level.
No, of course not. We're all stout of heart.
You seem to think that it's somehow connected to a person's devotion.
Isn't everything?
I'm just curious if there is some other connection that might also be present.
There's nothing that I have found.
Has there been any other symbols that you've seen associated with this illness or people with mutations?
Oh. That was discussed briefly, but graffiti's graffiti. I think the mutants are going mad and simply trying to carve out what they think they are and trying to identify with it.
Have you been able to witness what a full mutation looks like? In other words, like, does the mutation continue until a person is fully changed into something else altogether, or do they stop?
I typically try to go out on the raids at least 3 or 4 times a week.
Oh, wow.
And I have seen heavily mutated beings. I wonder if it's a disease or a blight from the ocean, because everything appears to be aquatic. And it'll have like razor sharp, like shark teeth. I've seen tentacles, I've seen fins, I've seen barnacles, I've seen like a chitinous plating growing on people's backs. I've seen venomous sludge, air sacs, gills, and honestly, once they've gone completely mad, some of them mutate further, and you'll find ones that are a lot faster than they should be. You'll find others that are a lot tougher than they should be, a lot harder to kill. You'll see ones with incredible strength. It's fascinating and terrible.
Do you have any medical personnel here? Have they investigated any of this? And how it's actually affecting the body more than just a mutation?
Well, we can't really get close. Like, we haven't been able to work on live ones because they go mad so fast. And so, from the corpses, what we have found is interacting with the bodies causes the contagion to spread. What we have found is mutation, like once past, you can begin to mutate within hours. And nothing that we have seen has been curable. We've even severed limbs from people who have been touched. And the limb might be gone, but pretty soon an arm or a tentacle or something horrid grows back in its place.
Wait, are you saying regardless of whether they cut off those limbs, that they get, if you get bit or anything, you get infected?
Yes, and it's ridiculous.
Oh my gosh, all those poor enforcers we saw on our way up. Oh.
What?
There's a group of enforcers who saw clearing them out, and there's a couple of them who had been bitten or scratched or whatever, and they'd been cutting off arms, but...
Did you see squad numbers? Intelligence test. -10 because you weren't paying attention.
Nope.
Should we all?
Yes, go ahead.
Anyone see any squad numbers?
-10. Intelligence. I did.
Yeah.
Of course, the crazy.
I saw the number.
Yeah, it was 54.
They had the squad number 54 on their armor.
54, you say? So he writes on a piece of paper and he's like, okay. Well, my goodness.
We might have just...
He says, okay, well, I will pay attention to their report. If they say that there was no contagion spread, I will know they are lying. But the hard part with this,
Whoops.
fear is beginning to set in. People are very worried about this. And with the recent horde of mutants that tried to push into the mid-hive, they're unorganized as far as we can tell, but who knows what could happen next.
Can you help me?
Sorry, go ahead.
Can you help me understand the structure here? Are you the head of some kind of law enforcement entity in your role as bishop, or are you just an individual that works alongside existing governmental structures?
No, I am not the planetary governor.
Okay.
And actually, we really don't hear from him. He does not like to be involved. That being said, I am the religious beacon on the planet, and I help uphold the will of the God Emperor. And it's really my duty to interpret his will here. That being said, the local enforcers look to me and the followers of Arabella to find direction. And in these times, spiritual sanctification, I think, is needed.
You seem to have no sympathy for those who have even minor mutations, though.
We must purge the mutant. It's one of the 3 tenets of the Imperium. And as you hear him say that, you reflect, and you know that the Imperium, it says, purge the witch, burn the mutant, kill the Xenos, or whatever it is. But yeah, it's like kill the witch, kill the mutant, kill the Xenos.
Bad. Different bad.
Suffer not the witch, kill the demon, kind of thing. Like, yeah, those are like the great threats of the Imperium. And so he's like, yeah, we can't afford to trust anyone with even minor mutations.
And you seem to have no concept that a conversion might be able to save them.
Oh. If we found any who could converse in a sentient way, maybe.
But the madness prevents that from happening.
Yes, I mean, psychers, mutants, but you're sanctioned. You're allowed to be here, no matter what I think of you.
Oh.
Charming.
It's not you, it's your mind I don't trust. Because, I don't know if you all know, but at a moment's notice she could crack in half and we could be faced with a bloodthirster or worse.
We should be so lucky.
Oh no. I think we're getting a little off track, so maybe.
For once, this isn't about me.
What can you tell us about finding our Inquisitor?
I don't believe she can be found.
What do you want from us?
I want your help in purging these mutants.
And what do you think that the 4 of us can bring to a hive of billions of people, or millions?
Billions.
Well, you conversed with Inquisitor Hans. Did she speak to you of the crisis here, or is there a way that you could access any of her research or studies or anything like that?
Is there?
I'll let you answer this first. I feel like maybe my relationship with the Inquisitor would have maybe been more information-based.
He does have a data slate, yes.
Mm-hmm.
If that helps.
So no transmissions came. She had you on a different task. That being said, do an intelligence test.
I pass.
It sounds like she was working fairly publicly with this cleric. You wonder if it would be easy enough to find a trail on maybe where her quarters were, where she was staying, or what resources she had available that you all might be able to acquire.
Okay. I think if we could track down where she was operating from here, that we could find a lead, because as much faith as you may put in us, I don't know that 4 people are going to do better than your squads of eliminating these mutants.
I see where you're coming from, but trust me, you all have seen the galaxy. You've probably seen horrors better than these enforcers could fathom. They're probably way better trained, especially if you have any experience in the underhives.
I'm gonna take a long pull from my whiskey flask, as I realize that nothing that you said about me is true. So much experience. No.
I'd also like to ask, what does the madness look like? when it reaches that point.
Pure insanity.
That's
like
new.
Maybe we should be checking your body.
or insanity.
I want too many a little
like,
drink.
well, I actually got drunk off of watching him.
Can't hold
He's like, no, just like they want the madness to spread.
So they essentially, they just have a burning need to.
I have one.
They have a burning need to have whatever they have given to a new host, essentially.
I'll take like 3.
You had me one?
No, I thought it was the tree.
I know, I was looking for a tree.
I couldn't say.
You don't have any reports. Is it specifically violent? Is it specifically...
Yeah, it doesn't seem like there's rational thought behind it.
So they're just incoherent and primal, essentially?
I would say that. But the mid-hive assault was something we hadn't seen before.
I was to say that implies some level of organization, doesn't it?
I mean, if you can call organization walking up the street.
But they had to band together. That implies some level of communication, doesn't it?
It does.
You seem unconcerned by this.
I don't have the light of the Emperor. Their efforts are futile in the end.
Not if they've gotten up that far.
You'd be
Or if
surprised.
you're so concerned about their threat. We just want to fully understand why we're here and what you want us to do.
Well, since you have the time, I'm looking for more information on these mutant hordes. I want to find out more about them and how we can stop them. Indefinitely. And I'm hoping that your charge to serve the God Emperor can aid you on this world. We labor faithfully to supply the Imperium, and I think the average citizen is happy to do so. But I know we've had to put down worker rebellions and riots and stuff. People want to be paid more, but what they don't know is the God Emperor just needs so much, and we have to supply so much that it's not really our place to seek higher status in the world. We are what we are, and we're here to serve. And so,
It's coming from higher status.
yeah.
I know, he's like sitting
The man
at this
in the
railroad
high tower.
desk.
Except
Like
I'm over here
literally
like...
in the high tower.
Except I'm like, yes, they should work harder and get better status. That's just... That's what I did.
Well, and then he just says, but yeah, you understand, and I think that you could be a beacon of hope to them, where, you're not from here, you have found success, and you clearly carry the light of the God Emperor with you.
So, just to clarify, we're going to go look for her base, right? Base of operations, and then we're also going to be among the people who may or may not...
Oh no, I have a mission for you.
Oh, you have a specific mission?
Yes,
Aside from our mission to find our Inquisitor.
well, your
He doesn't
mission
want us to find the Inquisitor. I think she's dead.
Your mission was to come here and possibly find the Inquisitor.
Drug.
But I have a mission for you in the worker districts. I need you to take some enforcers down there and infiltrate a worker housing unit near the fish processing facility. I've heard reports of mutations spreading in that area, and I need it all put down.
All right.
Okay. Is there anyone here who communicated regularly with the Inquisitor
Myself.
besides yourself?
No, not really. We work directly in contact.
Was there anyone she surely had to have received a stipend or a thing to set up where she lived, where she worked from?
Oh, I know where she works. So she had a place in the mid-hive.
Okay.
Can we get that
Can we
address?
get
Yes, of course. She also had acolytes that she had brought here from a different team.
What?
But as far as I know, there were casualties, and I am not aware if anybody made it. I think she took a couple to the Underhive, but what became of them, I do not know.
All right.
Would the mid-hive base be on our way to the worker station?
Potentially, but I would personally recommend moving with haste.
Hey, where are these enforcers you want us to meet?
Oh, man. You should be able to contact them. They are awaiting your arrival in the mid-hive, actually.
We should,
Oh, that's convenient.
this is a little dark, but we should tell them that we have a way to cure them if they get scratched or bitten, so they're honest with us after.
Oh, yes, that's what we've been telling them.
Oh, that's good.
That's great. Well, if we can just get that address for the mid-hive base of our Inquisitor, that would be great. And we'll head off to go meet our enforcers.
Perfect. He writes the address down, slides it on a piece of paper to Wojciech.
Thanks. And any other information that you can share with us about the circumstances of our missing Inquisitor before we head out.
So I know she was headed to the Underhive.
Okay. Underhive's a big place. Any specific thoughts on that?
We came to an impasse.
You and the Inquisitor.
Yes.
Mm.
She was very concerned with an area that is forbidden in the Underhive.
That area?
I shan't say.
Any particular reason you're unwilling to share that information with us?
Bad omen. Nothing good comes out of there.
Can I do a scrutiny test on that? To see if he's serious about that?
Yeah, go ahead.
What is going on?
Use a different set of dice.
Yeah, I know. Alright. I'm gonna fate point that.
You fate point that mamma jamma.
Come on. Oh my gosh, I rolled the exact same thing.
You weren't meant to
Fate.
know.
You were
It's
not
fate.
meant to know.
That's nuts.
Did you take notes on the sectors that he said have been shut down?
Yes.
Can I get those sectors? Or
Delta Sector 3, 5, and 6.
can you ask him, or maybe
No,
Stop
it was
rolling
Delta,
70.
Oh,
5
sorry.
and 6, and then Epsilon, Sector 3.
That's
Subsector 3.
Delta.
What the heck, you dirty guys?
Epsilon Sector 3. Sub.
Okay, I'm going to frame my question. Since this failed, I'm going to frame my question as, do any of these mean anything to you? Those that she just said.
Oh, the sectors?
Yeah.
Yes, these are quarantined areas. Mutations spread too thickly, and we're doing purgitation runs daily in those areas.
Are those the areas that we're forbidden to go to, or?
Well, you can go there, but you'll probably die. Well, they're forbidden to the public. You guys are members of the Inquisition. Or servants or whatever. You can go wherever you want. I have no jurisdiction over you. I would not pretend to hold myself so highly.
I think.
We're done.
Do you have digital records of your reports that you've been receiving from raids and any more information?
What are you looking for?
I
I have information recorded.
Detailed descriptions of the different mutations, any graffiti that's been new since the mutations started occurring. Areas that are more saturated with mutations, like you mentioned, the fish processing facility, places like that.
Yes. Well, one moment. And so he stands up, walks around the side
If
of
those are digital, you could download them to my data.
They're not digital.
Oh, that's what I was hoping for.
He walks over to his shelf and he pulls out a book, much smaller than the one that he was working in, and he comes and he sets it down, and he flips it, and he's like, "Yes, I've had servo skulls take pics of the mutations, and we've had doctors and surgeons try to analyze it, and it seems that the human, physiology, is that the word? changes. Yeah, changes with the mutation.
Mm.
And so, yes, I do have this book. Feel free to take any pictures out of it.
Thank you. I just collect the basic things.
Okay.
Send a stack to you. I'll take a stack.
The old people with their hard copies, you know.
Oh, can Marcus give us a ride there?
I don't know who that is, actually.
Oh, the driver.
I don't have. Oh, is he the person who came and got you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, one of our drivers. Yeah, I can have one summoned.
Perfect. Make sure it's Marcus.
Yeah, we love Marcus again.
He's really nice.
Yeah, I'll see what I can do.
Great.
Do a scrutiny test.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh no, he's lying! Oh my gosh! I rolled a 98.
Should we all check?
No, he's the one with scrutiny.
I see.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Dude,
Oh my goodness.
try some different dice.
I did.
Or
Those
a
are three different
different
dice.
surface.
Maybe I should just do this.
Superstitious.
Just a little stitches.
No, man, it's okay. I'm gonna mix them up. I'll try those. I thought someone else
That's what I
was
did.
doing
I had to
Oh, yeah.
mix one.
those. Ooh, okay. That's better.
Those were some new hoe dice that came with it.
Yeah, I like my hoe dice.
You guys can mix and mingle over there. Dirty
Yes.
dogs.
So did you pass?
The first one I rolled a 98, so no.
I'll give you a free reroll real quick because I just want to.
Nope.
Cool.
Lots of amounts.
Yeah. So you you don't really know how sincere he was, but you don't think he's lying.
What a
About
nice guy.
the car.
Yeah, just about getting your driver.
Oh.
We're gonna know in like 10 minutes. Okay, so do we leave? We good to
Yeah,
go?
I'm bad. Let's bounce. Actually, if you have any alcohol I can use for my container, I drank it all during our meeting.
Nothing but the communion wine, and that is not for you.
It's for when we meet heretics, so we can maybe that'll pure them up. You know what I'm saying? Lie to the God Emperor. Lie to the God Emperor.
Yeah, that's not true.
Where's the communion wine stored?
Somewhere.
Just out of curiosity.
Just somewhere.
You just have to walk past. As we start to walk away, and we've gotten some good distance between us and that guy.
Perception test real quick. Plus 30.
26.
Set of elevator doors next to the stairs.
Oh, son of a gun!
I knew there was an elevator.
Does anybody want to comment on it?
We should get.
Oh,
we should
Let's
get
just
in. The,
use it.
We should get in the.
we should get in the
It
elevator.
doesn't open.
Can I?
Can I investigate in whether see the buttons? Like if there's an up button and a down button, or if there's just like
Looks
you know.
like there's a key.
a key.
I have a multi-key. Can I pick that?
As you start to mess with it, the bishop's like, "Excuse me,
I know.
get away from the elevator doors. You don't have access to those."
I thought that the priest question mark downstairs said that you guys were too humble to have an elevator.
Oh, give me that key while you're distracted.
Oh yes. I just like behind my back.
Yes, we all are, but
Hand it off.
that's not for public use.
Sir, I noticed that your leg is quite old in the use of mechanics, and I have a few spare parts. I wonder if you'd like me to look at it.
What's wrong with my leg?
I just noticed it might not be giving. I mean, with the chance that you go out on raids 3 to 4 times a week, is it working functionally perfectly fine for you?
I manage.
If you'd like, I'm very skilled in tech, and I could check to see if I could make sure everything's working properly.
Can I aid him a little bit and use my storytelling skill to talk about somebody that I heard his mechanics effed up.
Yeah, he's like, well, if you want to look at it, I would always trust a servant of the Omniscience to know.
Okay, so I walk over and I kind of gesture for him to sit down on his seat, and as he moves to his, I wanna like adjust his seat for him so he's facing a little away from the elevator.
Okay.
I stick back with Eli with the multi-tool.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Cool, and tell your bull crap.
I didn't.
Real quick, test to see if you succeed. Oh.
Oh, dang it! I thought it was a 5. It was a 50.
Well, the multi-key gives you a +20.
Oh, it does it? Then I definitely make it.
I didn't pass my storytelling thing.
How bad did you fail?
I rolled an 85.
Oh, you did really bad.
Yeah.
He's like, I want to hear what you have to say. You just stop the chatter.
The men are talking.
So I would like to.
Typical.
Oh no!
I would like to really start looking at his leg and understanding it and how it's functioning.
Okay. So it uses a dual system of hydraulics, and it looks as though not only was it's actually so this leg was meant for someone else is half the problem. So it's a little bit longer than it needs to be, but also the hydraulics have been poorly maintained. And it looks like the ankle joint actually, it looks like it has broken in the past and has been repaired. But there's a lot of wear on those joints. This has the potential to offend you a little bit because you view mechanical implants as sacred things, and so really your initial whatever you think of him now, your initial impression of him would have been because you saw the leg, but as you've seen that it has poor quality and combined with whatever you currently think of him, which I don't know, this feels like a poorly maintained cybernetic.
Okay.
And that's probably due to him.
Okay. Would I have the ability of checking, especially, is there much wiring to it? I mean, is it mainly hydraulic? Like, is there
is some wiring.
Some wiring. And what is that? How is also the connection of it to his leg, like his comfort level? Like, how is that?
It goes directly to his hip.
Okay.
And you can tell by his posture and by the wear on the leg that he is probably currently in at least a little bit of discomfort.
Okay. Is there any way that I would know of how to improve his comfort?
Yes. The socket would need an adjustment.
Okay.
The length of the leg would need shortened by approximately 1.3 inches. And then really that ankle needs some oils and some tightening of some parts so that his locomotion can function better.
Okay. One last question. Would I have in any way the ability to use one of my spare parts to attach anything to this that I could then activate or deactivate from my data pad?
Oh my gosh.
So that's interesting because there's an alternate rank expansion in one of the books that would let you do that.
But I'm not there yet.
Well, here's the thing. Let's see what we have. So how many spare parts do you have?
3.
You have 3 spare parts. I will give you up to 3 chances to succeed on, and this would probably be difficult. So I'm going to give you a -10 intelligence test, and you have 3 opportunities to succeed.
Okay.
And then if you succeed at that point, whatever the link would be to your data slate, whatever you would want to do, it would also be a -10 tech use test.
Okay. About that time.
So 1 spare part is wasted.
Okay. That time. 3rd spare part.
Also, you could fate point.
Yeah.
But yeah, go through the 3, I guess, or whatever.
Yep.
Oh.
Perfect. And are you trying to use this to kind of offer some comfort as well?
So I want, well, because the way you described the hydraulics and the adjustment, I'm going to assume I can do the comfort without using a part. But I'd like the part to maybe attach to the badly repaired ankle joint.
Okay.
With the ability that maybe I could flip a switch or like connect it with my data pad to overload that in the future.
Okay. Okay.
So
So
ankles just
we'll say that you can maybe the hip joint's too much right now, but you can certainly like lower the leg length, which would certainly improve his comfort.
Okay.
And then yeah, we can attach that, and then he'll take a -30 penalty to notice.
Okay.
And we'll say that you've dedicated D10 minutes to this. D10 plus 2 minutes.
7.
So 9 minutes.
So 9 minutes.
To do all this.
Or no, sorry, I rolled a 5. So 7.
Oh.
So
total.
Oh,
So we have 9 minutes to do what we're about to do.
7 minutes.
7 minutes. Okay.
Which is doable.
Yeah.
That's not the most unheard of thing.
No. That's what I'm saying. He's doing his thing,
For 7.
and we like what our next phase
Well,
is.
he needs to see if he notices.
Oh, okay, got it. That you put on the sketchy part.
He
Of
noticed.
course he
Damn it.
does.
Did you roll a crit? Because you suck. You did.
So he's
Wait.
focused.
-30, and then his perception is a 35, which means I would have had to roll a 5, so a 6 fails by 1.
Oh.
I thought you rolled all zeros. I was like,
That
No,
is
that
as
was
close.
easy.
He's a wily little dude.
He's like, what are you? Oh, that feels so good.
Yeah, he was probably like starting. He's like, "What the heck you do? Oh, that's actually a lot better." All right, so pause. That just happened. You succeed, and the door. It's not like a fancy door. You just click, and then the door goes a little bit. And you like push it.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, it's just a manual door, and then there's the elevator, and you see that he's like fully distracted by whatever is going on over there. And you see her. She gets told to shut up, and she turns and looks at you. Do you want to exchange a face? Anything? Cool. And you're there with him.
Right.
to
Wow,
keep
E.
him in check.
Yeah, I whispered to him, I'm like, wow, E, I never thought I'd call you E instead of Eli, because I think that's BS. So I'm like, wow, E, I never thought I would see you with a multi-tool, or a multi-key? A multi-key in your hand. Arbiter and everything.
We all gotta, yeah.
That is 2 words, but
I just
profound
drank
thoughts.
whiskey.
I kind of casually move Eli out of the way and try to enter the room myself first.
Perfect. So yeah, you go in, and it's an elevator.
Okay.
Like you thought. And there's one button. Well, there's a down arrow and an up arrow on the outside.
Okay. But
Well,
there's only one.
No. There's just a down arrow on the outside, and then you get in, and there's 2 buttons, and it looks like
It's one of them shaped like a
one
wine barrel.
says 6 and the other says B.
One says 6, and the other says B.
Yeah.
How many flights of stairs did we go up to get here?
6. 5. Sorry.
Oh, let's hit 6
Nothing happens.
and then do it
Is
again.
there any kind of key inside?
Oh wait,
me?
no, I did that wrong. Yeah,
Okay.
no, there were 6 flights.
Yeah.
6
I'm
flights.
So we should probably hit B
There were 6 flights, and there's 6 floors. We're on the 6th floor. Okay.
uh,
So yes, we should definitely hit B.
for a wine barrel.
You're so fucked. You're
Cool.
My alcoholic cop brother.
Yeah. So
Hard
You've seen a lot on the force.
at first nothing happens, and then you're like, oh, I gotta close the door. So you close the door, and the elevator goes down.
Good,
boy.
we split the party.
I know, and he's not gonna notice they disappeared. So
Damn it, and we have the key.
We'll
Okay.
just have to walk.
All right.
It's fine.
you're
the
watching
the
this.
old lady, the old man.
Who limps.
Yeah, please tell me you gave
Love
us all of that as we close the doors. All of that was conveyed in a single look. Like all it took was one look. Was just like, yeah, that. Like, really?
I got that look down. But it was also
You're
like,
like, bye.
it was like,
Okay, so
no, but
That's
SQ.
so funny.
this is like seconds, right? We've
Yeah.
only expended 30 seconds here.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So you guys go down to the bottom, and the elevator stops, and the door does not open because that's not what it does.
Can I try and push the doors apart?
Yeah. So you do that, and it's actually a well-lit area. It's a basement beneath the cathedral, and you notice there's a couple branches here.
Branches?
Well, branch off.
Oh.
So there's a main area, and then there's
A tree! Here's where the wood is.
yeah. So you like kind of look out, and there's a wine cellar, and so there's big old kegs of wine just like lining one of these walls. And
I make eye contact with Eli and I say, no.
Oh!
and then the other thing you notice is enforcer gear.
Ooh.
Lots of it down here. There's
You know what I'm
shields,
thinking?
there's guns, armor, and personnel. There's people down here, and there's people doing like armor maintenance, and they're all dressed like just the clerics, the monks, and stuff. And they notice you.
Great. I purposely step out of the elevator with purpose and instruct the person who seems to be the most in charge that we have been sent here by the bishop.
I just want a fellowship test at a plus 30 to see how you're doing so far.
Okay.
So you need to roll under an 80. Oh wait, sorry.
I rolled
73.
Under 73. Okay. I rolled 11.
So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you feel like you're supposed to be here.
I authoritatively tell them, it's like, we've been sent by the bishop to get armor
Yeah, more gear.
and shields.
Mhm.
Shields. Definitely shields.
They heard if
And
you get bit, it's bad.
bad. Definitely bad. And we definitely need some kind of weaponry. Weapons.
Yeah.
Weapons. For both of us. Actually, we have other people too.
Yeah, there's,
Two others,
there's
yes.
two other people.
We need 4 sets of everything.
And now go back.
Suddenly the fellowship is crumbling.
So the guy rolls a 95, and he's like, oh well, yeah, he didn't send me word, but of course, like how else would you be down here?
Well, we've got a letter. This is the seal of the thing. Don't make me give this to you.
And he looks at it and he's like, oh yeah, the seal.
The seal.
Oh man. And he's like well okay, but how do you want to transport this?
Just
A
Bring us.
backpack?
yeah.
A bag of holding.
Intelligence test.
Okay.
And I'll give you. I'm gonna see what you roll, and then I'll think about it.
You'll see if I succeed.
Yeah.
45.
Oh, you pass. Yeah. You're good.
Okay.
Well, you know that there's a car on its way.
Oh, excellent. That car. Is what's his name?
Marcus.
Is Marcus driving it?
Well, so what I'm telling you is you remember that a car is going to be there.
Oh, we remember. Oh,
Oh, yeah.
we remember a car's
Yeah,
coming.
he has no
Oh,
idea.
got it. We have a car coming. That's how we would like it transported.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Can you
Well,
just bring it up to the car?
yeah, we'll just have it loaded in the back, and it'll be there for you.
Sounds great.
Perfect. Is there anything else that you need?
I flip him a gold throne.
He says, "Oh well, I can't accept money, but also here are the
I can't. Right
he goes here are the scrolls the Bishop Fireheart was wanting."
Perfect. Yes. We were meant to be recipients of said scrolls. We'll make sure they get.
Oh, the scrolls! The scrolls!
Like a little.
It's remembering
I
past
just
the
like
stairwell.
in my ear. I'm like, what the?
It's just like ringing.
I take the scrolls from him. I grin like a Cheshire cat, and we get back in the elevator.
We need our gear first,
Can
right?
I have an out of game something? Is it gonna be metagaming if I ask them to look for something specific about the armor that
Well, hold
they're
up.
repairing?
Let's do an intelligence test all around to see if the microbeads are active.
Oh, wouldn't that be
I didn't.
You got nothing.
Is there a plus to this intelligence test?
Okay, so
Wait,
then,
no,
so communications.
I'm fading this one.
Oh.
But
Saving it?
But out of game?
No out of game.
God damn it.
That was nice. Oh, we don't know what you want to ask us yet. Okay,
Yeah.
that's good.
Dang it.
Hold
It's
on.
okay.
All right, so we have.
Oh.
We want our armor now, though. Can we get our
Yeah.
armor now? Before we go, can we get our armor and then the other set of armor and other things like that is upstairs? Is that doable?
So wait, you don't want us just to put it all in the card? You want us
No,
to
put it all in the car.
Okay.
yes.
All right, B.
Okay.
Also, do you guys have any flamers by chance? Maybe just one that we could take as well.
Flamer.
He says, well, of course, it's the only weapon of holiness.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. He says, but why do you need one? You're an arbitrator.
Yeah.
Okay. So these are typically special issued, but
Again,
I mean you have the seal. I mean,
We're
I-
on a
We're going to
special
a
mission.
dangerous part of town, and we gotta, what does the Imperium want us to do? You burn the heretic, you punch the Xenos, and you purge that mutant, right, brother?
well, of course. So are you looking for like a hand flamer,
Just a hand flamer.
a flamer, or like a heavy flamer?
Flamer.
Oh,
Heavy
like,
flamer is a little bit too much for me.
like
Pretty little.
like a flamer
Like a flamer.
or a flamer.
Flamer.
Flamer. Okay. Do you want that in the car as well?
Yeah, just in the car. A couple.
Okay.
Yeah, nothing crazy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just one though.
Yeah, just one, two, just two. We can use two.
Sleight of hand.
He doesn't see it. Okay.
This is
Yeah.
the buddy cop drama I never needed.
All right. So 4 minutes have gone by.
All right.
How do we get back upstairs?
The elevator's the only access,
Excellent.
except for the.
Except for
What?
the what?
Oh, there's. Like we just have our loading ramp out back, but it's fine.
Okay. Elevator.
Elevator.
Can we? Is there a way that we can thank you so much for your help. Really appreciate it. You didn't accept my throne that I gave you, right?
It's not mine to accept.
Okay. Thanks so much. We're gonna take our leave. We go to the elevator. Just close the door. At this point, I ask you before we leave. I need you to keep your wits about you for the next 38 seconds. Is there anything else that we need to do that is not going to be influenced by alcohol? Can you think of anything else we should do?
I don't know. We all got weapons. We have all
Right.
the armor we need.
I mean, I guess we
Oh
could
wait,
ask-
wait. Let's back up because I know you talked armor.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize there was weapons.
Yeah, we
What-
asked for weapons.
Yeah. What? So specifically, let's just rewind. We'll just pretend we're right back where we were.
Okay.
So you're standing in front of him, and he says, "Okay, so I've got you the hand flamer, the two hand
Two
flamers,
hand flamers.
but I know that there was some other stuff that you wanted. What specific weapons would you want?"
Well, you mentioned that we initially we saw shields, correct?
Right.
Yes.
We would like a shield as well for each person. So each set of
four,
armor.
so
Also,
four enforcer shields.
4 enforcer shields, 4
d-
sets of armor.
And are those the shock variants or standard?
Shock variants.
Yes, definitely the shock variant.
Well, is that shock armor as well or standard?
Let me consult the letter.
Yeah, okay.
He crit 8, so he's like, some of it she's going on. But he's like not buying it at all, but he's like, this is highly unusual.
Well, we'll stick with highly unusual for now.
Just slightly
Well, it
flustered.
makes sense you'd only want 4 because those are only issued in small operations.
Right.
Or for captains.
Do you have charge packs by chance as well?
Yeah, I have last charge packs.
And what is the commonly? We were just told to get the most commonly issued weaponry in addition to our flame.
Should I just add 4 las guns and 4? Well, I don't know, probably 8 charge packs.
Sounds
Yeah.
right. Yes.
Some grenades, maybe.
Would you want smoke or frag?
Frag.
Oh wait, we also have fire.
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 Yeah,
Fire,
fire's
okay.
probably better. For what
Definitely
we
the
need.
fire.
Okay, I'll put 8 fire grenades. Well,
Great.
Molotovs essentially.
Great. Thank you.
Let me write these down.
And then,
You write them down. You're there.
are you wanting any swords or clubs or hammers
Pull out my
or
I
axes?
think I'm good.
Melee weapons, I think we're okay.
I have some pretty nasty, brass knuckles.
I do too.
Oh my god! That is
Oh my god!
Beautiful.
I lost the game.
No, I think we're good. I think we're set. If you're willing to get that in the car in the next 5 minutes, before I close the door though, I'd love to just take a quick look around, like to just get one final check of the area.
Cursory.
Is that doable? Make sure that I saw everything there was to see.
Hey, he says, yeah, I can walk with you wherever.
Great, thanks so much. Do you mind just taking us on a quick little tour?
Yeah. So he takes you by the wine cellars. There's also a spot where they're churning butter, and they have like a cheese rack, which that's like you've never seen cheese.
I say this sounds very luxurious.
Yeah.
Can I sleight of hand?
Still a cheese wheel.
Yeah, well, like a small one, like a little brie or a camembert, just a little one.
Sleight of hand.
This is where it all goes crazy.
No, should I not? Oh my god. Okay, so sleight of hand
totally
is
is.
an agility check. 52.
And I would have given you a plus 20 on that.
Okay, so I win. I succeed.
Okay, cool. So yeah, you sneak some cheese. Some cheeses for you and some Mises. Cool. And then there's the armory, and it actually looks like there's almost a level of barracks down here, and you can see like there's other priests and stuff, and there's a level of martial arts being practiced, and there's like a little mess hall down there, and it actually looks like there might be some levels to the basement. And so this guy stops above some stairs, and he's like, "Would you like to continue, or would that be all?"
I think we gotta go.
Oh yeah. How
The
much
car's coming.
How much time was the last?
6 minutes.
Yeah, we gotta go.
Okay.
Thank you. This
We
has
can
been
find our way
great.
back.
Yeah, we'll show ourselves out.
Odd or even?
Oh crap! Even.
A minute goes, and you haven't got to the elevator.
Oh
No, we failed all the intelligence checks for the stupid things because I was like, maybe I'd be aware to delay.
All right.
Okay.
So you're down to your last minute, and then awareness test, both of you.
Awareness for both of us.
Yes.
Okay.
no! I rolled a 99.
Great.
What
So
is
don't
wrong
count
with
with
you?
Let's try
So
to.
awareness is a perception,
Yes.
and I have it. Like, does that mean anything?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, means you can take the test.
Perception. I see what you're saying.
Mhm.
96.
I'm gonna use a fate point.
Wait.
Oh.
No, fair point. It's fine.
Hey! Oh, crap. It goes off perception, huh?
Yeah,
I missed it by 2.
I will give it to you.
Alright.
Oh.
So,
Okay.
but wait. Odd or even?
I said even. I'll stick with odd.
Okay, so you find the door on time,
Oh.
and so you're able to get into it, and
Up to the 6th floor, right?
There's only 2 buttons.
so you hit 6.
Sometimes.
And,
you're a
um,
scum.
yeah. So you get in the elevator. You have the scrolls, right?
Yes, I have
Okay.
the scrolls. I have a wheel of cheese.
Oh,
This has been a very productive day. They're orchestrating everything.
Like you're
to put in the car.
confident that nobody else has ever had cheese. Like this is like.
Oh yeah. This is it.
We've arrived.
They're putting everything in the car.
Oh, can I say something while we're going up the elevator?
Of course.
How we have all these scrolls, but I mean, he's probably gonna ask us how we got these. Maybe we should just leave them in the elevator.
No. I tuck them in the back of my shirt, and
Oh.
can I do an agility or sleight of hand thing on that?
Yeah, do a sleight of hand,
I make them disappear.
and I'll give you a plus 20 on that.
Ooh, is 90 or 60?
61.
61. So with my sleight of hand, that would be agility, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Agility.
And he's at
good
plus
grief.
20.
44.
So you're good.
Oh gosh!
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. So I hid the scrolls underneath my kit, my armor, if you will.
Cool. And then the elevator arrives.
Mm-hmm.
Can I be doing a card trick?
You failed.
No, this
No,
is different.
no,
I was trying to tell a story. This is
hang on,
super
hang on. You failed, and then he took 7 minutes to do the cybernetic. This happened in that 7 minutes.
Well, right, but like, as he's working on his leg. Card tricks are with
The
your...
cleric was interested. I don't know. I'm sorry. I appreciate what you're trying to do, but he was already like, wait, what are you blabbing about? He just
Well, then how about this? I'm doing stuff with my cards, and if something goes awry, I'm gonna
and
accidentally...
just fling him everywhere.
Yes.
Perfect. Okay.
Great.
So the elevator arrives. Does either one of you have silent move?
I'm sorry?
Does either one of you have silent move?
I have
Silent
negative 20 to silent move because of my iron lung.
Okay, what I have is I do have
Drop a tool.
concealment. I have concealment.
Would be
I
silent
have
move.
dodge. I don't have silent move.
We'll do an
no.
agility.
Oh, never mind.
Do an agility test, then see if you can open the door quietly.
Okay.
And then
Quietly
you're
earlier.
going to do an agility test to see if your lung is noisy.
I just lubricated it before we
Doesn't
came in
matter.
here. Oh no!
I was like, okay.
Yeah!
I was like,
It's
Okay.
acting up.
Agility
I'll give you a
test.
bonus to your test.
Alright.
Plus 10.
So it's only minus...
25. I think I passed the agility test.
Cool. So yeah, you slide the door open, and you're scrawny, and so you just whoop right out.
He's
And
also scrawny.
and
Yes.
yes, and you go to follow him and do an agility test.
Oh
my
no.
And as he's coming through the door, his lung scrapes the door, and it's like, and
Oh my goodness! Oh my cards! They're very loud!
and so he like looks at the cards. He will take a minus 20 to his perception test to just see that out of the corner of his eye. What's up?
He's not gonna hear it out of the
would
corner?
I have any way to do like an instant reaction in this moment to know what's happening, like to try and distract as well?
It would be an initiative test against him.
Okay.
So the way that you do an initiative test is we're going to roll 1d10. You're going to add your agility bonus to it, and it will determine if your action takes place before his.
Okay.
And this is actually one of the first initiative tests that I've done non-combatantly, so this is fun. But it's just me and you.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. I rolled 5.
I got a 10.
Okay, so yeah, as he reacts, you
Okay, that's what I want to do.
quick.
Well, this is what I want to do. I have secret language tech
Mhm.
and so I'm working on his leg. Can I like make the hydraulics like scream or squeak or something like that? Is that within? I don't know if it's within the realm.
No, it is.
Okay, that's
Well, yeah, because you're going to talk to the spirit of the machine that's going to groan and like you're going to piss this leg off.
I
but
want
you
it to
can do
basically be like.
Yeah. Okay, so now you do the test.
To see if you succeed, right?
Mhm.
Which is intelligence.
You got it.
Don't you mess this up.
Oh, I did it.
Perfect. So yeah, he like, and he rolled a 96. So yeah, so you're sitting there, and he like starts to like, he's like, what the heck? And then he's like, and he just like looks at that. You get out, and I'll just wrap it up and say that you've closed the door successfully too.
And I'm just gonna react and go, oh, yep, that in place. It's ready.
That was beautiful.
Oh.
I will give everyone 500 XP for that.
Oh.
And you can level as we play. Just so you know. Or, we will take our break and you can do it then.
Paid.
But, yeah, so
Nice.
you will have a payment now. Cool. And so he's like, he stands up on it, and he's like not even looking at you guys. And he's like, wow. Man, that feels a lot nicer. Thank you.
That was beautiful.
Thank you. That was...
I can't see tech and not help.
I feel the same way. But about souls.
And that's why we're both in our callings.
Yeah, it is a calling. I feel
Yeah.
the same way. Wow.
Great. So we're gonna go.
You guys are such
You can walk to
good
the stairs
spirits.
already, please.
Okay, cool. So then you go down the stairs. You go to the car. It's not Marcus.
Oh, that son of a.
It's this guy named Philip.
Can we have a quick conversation, like collectively?
As you're going down the stairs.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
as
that's
we're
what
going
I
down the
wanted
stairs.
to do.
Okay, so who's buying this? Like, I feel like we just got sent on a completely different mission. We are here specifically to help our Inquisitor, and he's wanting us to go do something completely different. I don't know why we would follow that.
Specifically because he. Wait.
Well, so I just want to back up just real quick,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
so you know.
Oh, yeah.
So Pyreheart actually sent a request for you all to come here. But
Oh.
he sent that request to you on behalf of the Inquisitor. He's like, she's gone, but I still need help, and so maybe we can work together to find her.
Okay.
And so that's
But
maybe I didn't.
He's,
convey that
he's
well.
thinking that it's dual. Are we far enough away from him that he can't hear us?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
The door's closed.
Are
I
our,
just-
Run the.
You
are
gotta be
our
careful.
loyalties to her or to him? Do you see what I mean? Like, that's where I'm
It would be
a
to
little
her,
lost.
but
Right.
also it has been months.
So we may or may not actually have an Inquisitor at the moment. But
If that
Terrible
happens,
news.
If that happens, then who are we loyal to at that point? Do we just
still the
disband?
Inquisition, but
It
we
would
just
still
don't
be
really
yeah,
have
it'd still be the
an
Inquisition.
organizer.
But not him.
And then you could choose at that point to wrap up your dealings here or link back with, like, if you even could link
Okay.
back with the Inquisition.
I'm worried because he doesn't seem, and we didn't ask this. I don't think he has tried to find the
Agreed.
Inquisitor.
And I think he's trying to send us on some other, like, ridiculous
Well,
mission for
and the
him.
thing that worries me is that he requested us here to possibly find her, only for us to arrive and say that's not worth doing.
Right, that's
Do
what
this other.
concerns me, is this letter is very much hopeful. The language we just got from him was not only dismissive of the chance, but we had to pry to get even the last known address. You asked initially, he avoided the question. It wasn't until I pressed he was even willing to give us the address.
Mm.
That's bothersome to me.
I think in order, because he's going to be aware of what we're doing, right? Because he thinks that we're acolytes or whatever. We should still go do what he asked, but on our way there, we should stop.
Oh, yeah, yes.
I also think that part of going through and figuring out the mutant thing is going to lead us to
I agree.
information about our Inquisitor. So because we are supposed to be meeting our whatevers, our little soldier boys, they're supposed to be in the mid. They're supposed to be in the mid-hive. That's where her last known location was.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you.
I'm just
A
gonna
little
do that.
sauna-y.
Well, look at the window.
I know.
The window gave up.
So I
I
think
agree.
I think some of this will be in conjunction, but I agree that he doesn't seem terribly concerned. He also doesn't seem terribly concerned with what's actually going on. He doesn't believe that it's going to affect him or the nobles in any way. Anyone in the upper hive is safe, he thinks,
Right.
even though it's at the mid-hive.
And I also don't believe that on that level of a bad leg, I mean, you looked at him. Do you think that he was going on 3 to 4 raids? Like, that's kind of ridiculous.
Actually, I would say that your evaluation of the leg showed very heavy use, and that his boots looked filthy.
Okay.
Does that mean that he's going on raids?
Oh.
Necessarily?
He is going out. Whether he's going on raids or not, I can't say. But he isn't quite as pompous and locked in his high tower as maybe he would first seek.
Okay.
Intelligence test for memory. Plus 20, because I need you to have it.
Did it. 33.
You got it?
Yeah.
Cool. Perfect. Yeah, so you actually, you can remember noticing too when you were working on the leg, you looked over and actually behind his chair against, it was nearby, within like 10 feet of his chair, against the back of the stained glass window that was behind his desk, on this windowsill thing, whatever. He had it was like a great chain axe on display. It was the most immaculate looking chain axe that you'd ever seen, and it looks like it's perfectly maintained, but not unused at all.
Okay.
but not unused.
Not
Yeah,
sure.
like
So
like
used.
like
well maintained and
what you would see that was worn was the grips.
Uh-huh.
The grips are really worn. Like it's frequently used.
Interesting.
So you think he might actually be going out and doing
I
that?
think he might actually be going out.
And I mean, maybe I just am predisposed to just not believe nobles because I just don't understand how someone can live in that high tower and presume their position is completely unaffected by it.
Yeah.
I mean, and it seems like he's unwilling to acknowledge so many important things. Like, for example, if they are capable of collectively engaging, there is some level.
Mr. Omnissiah, I love robots. Blast!
Don't piss people off, you drunken weirdo.
Words, I'm out.
Thank goodness.
Listen, I just think that if anything, we need to stick together long enough so that we can, or we need to like keep it together long enough so we can at least figure out who we're working for at this point.
What did you guys see when you went in the elevator?
We went down.
Oh boy.
Well, we went down there and we were able to secure some armor. We were able to secure some weapons, and we were able to secure some shields as well. I also happened to secure this.
Oh.
What are we looking at?
It's your hand. That's great.
This is cheese.
That's it.
This is
Oh.
cheese. Have you ever had cheese?
I wasn't sure if you were holding out the scrolls or the
It
cheese.
smells like a shoe.
I have only ever had, or only ever heard of cheese before.
Flavorful food is a weakness of the flesh.
Okay. Clearly, this is something for the godless heathens, so we will enjoy it in our hive status without you.
Yeah, hive cheese.
I've entertained nobles.
I would just like to say that I pull out a throwing knife and I cut off a sliver.
I move fast enough to avoid it. Sleight of hand, I win. Okay, the other thing we found was this. These were provided to us directly by one of the guards on the presumption that we were, see, cheese
What?
scrolls.
Okay,
No, I-
so you have to say what
Well, I only was given two
I
things.
can't see it.
Cheese scrolls. We were given these by one of the most looking in charge person down there. Presuming that we were supposed to be giving them to the bishop. So I think that we should take a look at those.
I grabbed them and put them back under my cloak because we're still in the church.
Oh yeah, we're in the elevator. Oh my god.
No, we're in the
We're
stairs.
down the stairs.
Oh, we're on the stairs. That's right.
You guys should have seen their faces.
If I crit,
No.
72, you're good.
Oh my goodness.
There's a little
Sometimes.
person worker there watching everything on
One
the
of
stairwell.
the cherubs.
Sweeping.
Uh,
Just an alarm.
Cherub Steve. Like, heretic!
That would scare the crap out of me in my semi-drunken state.
He shoots it.
Shoot the reanimated corpse of a baby.
I could do it.
Okay, so
Um,
secret them
We
away.
need to get to a place where we can analyze this without worry.
Okay, let's go then.
Let's go to the
Let's
car.
get to the
I
car.
also, though, like as you were down there, you said you saw armor and stuff.
Yes.
What was going
We got
on with the armor?
the
Why was
best
there
armor.
armor?
So there was a group of what appeared to be military individuals, or not military, like
They're
enforcement
cops.
individuals. Cops. They're cops. They were eating the donuts. They were dipping in coffee.
Recovering from the difficult day.
Dipping their cheese in the wine.
That's definitely what you do. So they were down there and appeared to be, they appeared to have returned and or were like I don't know. It seemed like enforcement people in the basement of the church, which was weird.
That's very strange.
Right.
Was the armor damaged?
Well maintained.
Yeah, well maintained.
Or being
Yeah.
maintained and repaired.
Yeah, well maintained or being maintained.
Was there any sign of like the mutation stuff? Because he said there was like barnacles on people. Was it on
Not that we could tell.
right?
Did we see any of that?
Can I do a memory test?
Do a crit. I'm just kidding.
Do a crit.
Yeah, so I want you to do an intelligence test.
Okay.
And do good.
Can I do it too?
You crit 8.
Woo!
Okay,
Never
so
mind.
actually, I will give you full intel.
Intel.
So
Full
as
intel.
you were walking by and you saw them
He did
cleaning
tour,
the
he did
armor
it
and
with a
stuff
spoken
off,
tour.
there is
Good design.
actually, so you saw part of the loading dock.
Okay.
And it looks like there were bodies of the dead that were loaded up to like a carrier to probably be taken. It looked like a worker truck, so it looked like it was going to be taken down to the zones for corpse starching. And some of that blood was getting cleaned off of the enforcer gear.
Wait a second, I don't know. Say the last.
So the gear that you got is from the enforcers.
Okay.
And it looks like maybe the priests were either cleaning it or maintaining it, but getting rid of the bodies as well.
Okay.
And I'm gonna actually back up a little bit, and it doesn't look like the bodies were being taken away. It looks like they were being burned. There was a furnace.
Okay. At the church.
At the church.
Okay.
And
Did any of the bodies appear to be mutated? Have any mutations on them, or did they all appear?
Not
to
that
be?
you saw.
Okay.
I have a
Nothing mutated. Looked like it was brought into the church.
Okay.
Do they look like? Because you can probably tell the difference between someone from like a low hive to mid hive from someone who's like in the top tier of the hive.
The corpses?
Yeah.
They're just
They'd probably
enforcers.
The corpses.
The corpses
were
are
enforcers?
enforcers.
The corpses were enforcers. That's what I was trying to say. So
Okay,
yeah,
I
it
was
looked,
missing
like these were dead enforcers, and they were basically taking armor off of them and cleaning it, polishing
The
it.
priests were taking the armor off.
Mhm.
Okay. Wow, I think I totally misunderstood that the first go.
I'm so sorry.
No, you're fine. I just okay. So, does that make better sense now that we've explained it better?
So
The priests were taking this armor off of enforcers that appeared to not be mutated, but they were dead.
did they? Can we tell how they died? Like, did it look like they had been like clawed or shot? You know what I'm saying?
Mix of both.
Mix of both.
Oh, and I should say back when you initially saw mutants too, some of them did have guns.
Okay.
Some of the mutants had guns.
Mhm.
Interesting. Okay.
But they're just
The
going
lesser
mad.
mutated ones, the ones that were really mutated, didn't see weapons on.
So I don't really know what that means. Does anyone have any thoughts on that?
Not at this moment. I think
Okay.
we need more research. I think we need
Great.
to figure some
Hunt
things out.
down.
Yeah.
Great. Okay. Any other questions about what we saw?
Could mean that the enforcers, like some of the infected, started to turn back at a base or something.
Yeah.
Just like a fire.
But we didn't see anything that looked like a mutation, though, and it sounds like most of the mutations are visible.
That's true.
I will say, if they have, I mean, there's the loading dock, so I suppose they could be coming back through there. But if this was, in fact, in a basement of the cathedral, there could be tunnels and
There
other,
appeared to be, yes.
which, I mean, we're from a hive, this is a hive.
Tunnels are like passageways
Common.
and stuff are common.
Okay, so then that
Yeah.
was stupid.
No, no, it wasn't.
That's good.
It's a good thing to bring.
But we
to
also
attention.
noticed that, too. We stopped our tour because we had to get back to you. So,
Right.
Oh, we can't finish.
I can't believe you nailed it with because you guys had no idea how much time you had left. But to get back with like in the 7-minute mark, like oh my gosh.
oh my
I need a better one. Doesn't have this projecting pipe.
Oh, you're not the dude at the administrative office.
What is it then?
It's just a line. Like you just got like you can see you got like something going on. Like there's probably scarring from where they had to do implants.
Okay.
Probably had your ribs broke open so they could get in there and
Oh.
so you got the nasty scar there.
All right.
I would love it if your lung made your voice crack like a teenager. Just
Where's the
squeaks up.
beer?
I love it. Okay, do we make it out? Do we make it to our
Let's
car?
Okay, we're in the car.
Cool.
We
So,
get there and it's
Not Marcus.
so
Phyllis.
yeah. No, not Marcus. This guy's like, yeah, my name is Perry, and I'm taking you to the mid hive so that you can link up with some enforcers. Correct?
Could you take us to this address?
First.
It's a little out of the way, but I'm sure we can manage.
Great. Thanks, Perry.
I give you a piece. I give you a gold of Rome.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
we were supposed to have had a few things loaded into the vehicle before our arrival. Has that
Oh yes, they did come.
great?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
went ahead and signed for it, so you all didn't have to be troubled.
Signed for us. Oh, there we go, Perry.
Thanks, Perry. Hey, are you going to be driving us for the rest of the day?
No, just to this destination.
Can we rent you for the rest of the day?
Depends. What would
We'll negotiate that later.
Okay, I will be available.
Excellent. Thanks,
I
Perry.
won't cancel the ride or conclude the ride.
We appreciate it.
Hey, random question. How do you feel? You know, like you're a worker. I grew up a worker. How do you feel about this this
You're a
year's
worker.
saint here?
people.
Just drunk Eli here, like talking to everybody.
He's an extrovert.
He is an extrovert.
He's like, well, man, like, I think the Saints have their place, right? Like, I think just like, the God Emperor is important to everybody, but at the same time, like, I don't know, help a brother out, right? Like, I'm not even with my family right now. It's like 10 o'clock at night, and I'm out here carpooling you guys around, which I'm happy to do, and thank you for the tip, by the way. But, I don't think, you got this nice cathedral here, and I don't think we all have to really be living like this. So, I see that the God Emperor has what he needs, but at the same time, I just would like to see something other than corp ration one day,
Yeah. Hey, from one worker to another, do you ever hear any grumblings about, like, I don't know, insurrection?
He like
Not a good enough reason to use the word insurrection.
he stops the car and is like, what on earth did you say that for?
Wait, can I roll for that though?
What do you want to do?
I have pure worker. I just want to see if maybe he's taken.
Yeah, you can roll for it.
Oh God. And I'm drunk, so I'll rephrase.
Insurrection.
Oh Lord. I'm gonna be like, wait, that's the wrong word.
Burn those dice.
Here's what I'm trying to say is
We're all gonna have pie later, and you're going to the game store to get us.
Here's what I'm trying to say. There's this disease going around, right?
Oh, well, yeah.
The plague.
You heard of it?
Yeah,
Listen,
yeah.
there's mutants and everything, and some of the mutants are using guns, and they appear to be.
The mutants are using guns?
Shut up!
Freaks out. They didn't tell us that. I have not. Oh my gosh. We don't even have guns.
Oh,
They don't let us have guns.
Oh,
Listen.
soothsayer.
Oh, just prepare this.
Can I hop on in?
Yeah, hop on in.
With my professional Lonnie
Just
voice.
staring at me in my drunken.
What the hell are you doing?
I'm buying it.
Please, what my friend is trying to say here is that
Those are the mutants with their claws. Bang, bang.
We eat women and children while their dads are
does
at
anybody have a freaking tranquilizer?
Take us, Alex.
Oh man.
Listen, you're doing a wonderful job, and I'm sorry that my friend here has caused you any concern. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He's clearly inebriated.
Oh, yeah, he is.
Yeah, he's got a lot of
Of course
problems.
he doesn't know what he's talking about.
I don't think you should listen to him in the case of wild, dramatic thoughts that he seems to be having. It's just an episode.
He's been clubbing at the cathedral.
They got the communion wine.
Yes.
I hope they put some wine in the trunk like he asked.
Is that what you asked?
He asked for mine,
he
too.
said it in
Oh,
the
that's
conversation.
Do you think they would have put that in there?
Probably, I don't know. We'll see.
Did it work?
Keep going.
But yes, you're doing a wonderful job. We're just trying to get to our destination. What he's really trying to ask you is if you've noticed any uneasiness amongst.
Yeah, there's an
The
easiness.
lower
People are
levels.
scared to death.
Has that caused any?
My brother died.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
Sad.
That's a difficult time.
I think what you're saying is just as these times happen and emotions are flaring, sometimes people want to gather to give support to each other. Have you noticed on the lower level more gatherings of groups or anything like that of people because of these events?
Oh man.
Oh, interesting.
Because they're hungry.
Wait. Gatherings of the mutants or gatherings of the non?
From the non, you know, if people have been
really
gathering more.
Yeah. We yeah, there's the occasional like block family shrine.
And any other types of like, is there any gatherings of groups of people you don't know, you don't associate with, anything of worry that we should know about as we go down there to maybe break up some groups?
Oh.
I mean, I know you'd never be part
Odd
of
or even?
it, even.
Okay. Well, you know, I get all over town.
Yeah, but you.
A mid-hive, up hive, lower hive, the industrial sectors.
And with a face like
And,
that, too.
well, thank you. He says, well, you know, there's been a lot of graffiti showing up. A lot of graffiti.
Yeah, where is it the same thing, or have you noticed different types of graffiti?
Variants, but it's always something with tentacles.
Hi, I'm a scrimshaw.
Yeah.
Would you be able to describe it for me so I could draw it?
Yeah, well, I'd say the most common one that I've seen was like just like a human's head with like the mouth and kind of the nose gone and the jaw gone. It's just tentacles. And it's just a head, and it's not like super detailed. And you know the tentacles are like, it's like they're not like still. It looks like they were like they move like tentacles do. So I don't know. I've caught a couple people drawing that with, you know, paint or fish gut blood or whatever, and they always run off, especially when I honk my lights at them.
Has there been
Honk my lights?
Has there been an area where this has been more concentrated that you've noticed if you've driven around?
Yeah, honestly, it's you know, the docks are a bad area for that.
By the fish processing plant?
Well, so there's the fish processing plant, and that's, I don't know, the families over there are kind of difficult, you know what I mean? They get paid less than the corpse starch people, but the Imperium wants, you know, like the fish oils and the fish for, you know, spicing up the general's mills. That's what the fish are used for. They're not used for the infantrymen, but yeah. So the docks get a lot of graffiti. I never go down to the underhive, but you know the entrances to the underhive seems like they're always having to repaint those areas.
Okay.
And then yeah, honestly, just kind of like the worker districts, pretty even throughout any of there.
Okay.
Have you heard tell of any forbidden areas in the Underhive? I know you don't go down there.
Oh, you must be talking about Depressomordium.
Can you spell that?
Yes.
That's beautiful.
Oh, that was solid, dude.
Yeah, Depressomordius. It's DEPRESSO Mortus, and it's MORTUIS.
And what do you know about that place?
That's what everybody knows, man. It's the part of the hive city that sunk off into the ocean.
Into the ocean.
That was a terrible tragedy. So yeah, I mean, if you, we're in the mid-hive now, and actually coming up on this, this little external bridge mount. So yeah, if you look out, you can see, you know how there's the industrial sectors, and they go out like rings on a planet.
Mm-hmm.
Not on a planet, I'm stupid, but like rings around the hive. Yeah, so that used to continue all the way around the hive. So the hive, shoot, can I get a sticky note?
Yes, you can.
Yeah, I meant to draw you mouse, and then I didn't. So sorry.
You're already overperforming as a driver. You do not need to give us maps.
Oh, I meant.
Oh man. Oh, what a waste.
Yeah. So basically, you got this hive in the center, and then surrounding the hive, you have different housing districts in the lower and mid-hive regions, and then as those go out to the industrial sectors, you'll have like alpha, beta, delta, and then each one of those has 8 subsectors in it. But then you see, we had this big storm couple 100 years ago, 200 years ago, and we lost like that whole section off to the sea, and folks just started calling it Depressum Mortis.
They just started calling it that.
Not just started, but like they started calling it that. So they don't even refer to it as their old sector names.
Did the plague exist before that storm?
What? No. No, and the plague, honestly, it's different now than it was, you know? Like, sickness, it's always there. You got close to the water, you got these, you know, it's cold outside, and you get these storms. People get sick. Nothing like this. Nothing like this. People joke it's something about the water, or like the planets coming to align or something. You know, they get superstitious, and, you know, folks are uneasy, but yeah. Just everything I hear is just best to avoid Depressum Mortis. You know, a lot of people died. Nobody knows how that went, but yeah, it's not really accessible anymore. So I hear.
Out of game question.
End of game answer.
No.
I'm just kidding.
With the different gods that exist in the Warhammer universe, are any of them prone to being more aquatic?
No.
Okay.
And that would be metagaming for your character.
Wow. Bad.
Well, I can.
You must be so embarrassed.
The men are talking. Oh no! I still can't forget how brutal that was. Let me tell you a tale. Shh.
I wasn't getting that crazy, but it's fine. That's fine. Well, scholastic or occult, would that tell me any information about aquatic gods?
No.
Oh, fine.
But it would tell you if you felt like something was dark, but it doesn't give you information beyond that.
Well, I already know.
Because you can have understanding of cults and not know what they worship.
That's fair. I did already do that, and I already know that the graffiti is cultish in nature.
No.
Oh.
It's that it could be.
Okay. I have my suspicions.
Strong suspicions, but they are suspicions.
You definitely need a magnifying glass for that Professor Trelawney.
Okay. I really, out of game still, I really want to lean into that. So, like, part of going to that cleric and being like, oh no.
Yeah. Oh no.
Just really vague, foreboding thoughts. Anyways,
Yeah.
Back in game?
yes.
One other thing out of game.
Oh.
I'm really gonna work on not using words like insurrection.
No, don't you dare.
I'm so sorry.
Don't work on it at all.
I was like, maybe if I whisper it, it'll make it a bit more.
Insurrection.
What? Erection what? I didn't say insurrection. Oh, you must be so embarrassed that you heard that wrong.
Okay. Back
Is
in.
this what the graffiti looks like?
Sure.
Really?
Sure.
Well, I drew one on something. It was terrible. I'll draw that on. Or maybe I threw it away because it was. Yeah, I threw it away. It was terrible.
It's fine. It's fine. I copied it down.
Yeah, just some squid face looking dude.
Okay. I don't have any other words.
Is there anything else we can ask him?
Let's see. We've got.
We covered gatherings. We've covered.
He told us about freaking post-depression, whatever.
Maybe.
Mortyism.
I don't know how to say it, so I wrote down the completely wrong word. Depressum Mortis.
Depressing Mortis.
He drives a lot of different people around, maybe asking stuff about his impression based on other people's drives of the bishop.
Have you ever driven the Inquisitor around?
Oh, he's
Really high-pitched question.
You ever driven the Inquisitor around?
Oh, that was too
I think we have to inquire as to whether or not he knows the Inquisitor.
Have you?
Lick your lips.
Does anybody have high Gothic?
Oh,
I have
I
high
do.
Gothic.
Do a high
No,
Gothic.
I don't.
Oh no, I have low
I
Gothic.
have low.
I have low Gothic and ship
Dun,
dialect.
dun, dun, dun.
You have
Do
high
a-
I
Gothic?
could have taken high Gothic.
Do
but
a
didn't.
high Gothic
Oh wait,
test.
nope.
Low?
Yeah.
Nobody
No one
has
has
it?
high Gothic.
No, no.
Really?
I have pure worker if he's a worker. We can give that a try again.
I have low Gothic. I have hive dialect. Yeah, that's all I got.
Interesting. Cool. So yeah, Depressum Mortis is Depressum Mortis.
Is it
Okay,
is
so
it
we
the-
wouldn't.
Is
I
it like
see.
the dead deep? I don't know. Anyway, I don't know how to speak high
Sad
Gothic.
death.
Sad death.
Out of game, it would be the Sunken Death.
The
That's
sunken
what I was
death.
just trying to. Okay.
Good
Anyway.
for you and
No.
your knowledge of Latin.
Okay. Yeah.
But
Oh,
okay.
did you ever drive around the Inquisitor from the?
If I did, no one said.
Have you ever gone to this address
Oh!
before where we started taking
Sticky
you?
note. Stat.
No, typically it's
Sticky
just to
Which one?
I
just to
need
the
one.
enforcer barracks.
Okay. Cool.
Who do you drive to the enforcer barracks? Just enforcers or like what?
Well, a lot of times it's the priest.
The
or
priest.
whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, the bishop.
You drive the bishop to
mostly?
the enforcer barracks?
Yeah.
For the raids?
Yeah, he's a nice guy.
What is he dressed in when he goes to the enforcer barracks?
Oh, he's got some pretty nice armor that he wears.
Oh, okay. So he's from what
Does
you
he
can
have
tell,
his
is he
great
joining
axe?
them?
Oh yeah, he fights. He comes back covered in crap and has to clean off and whatever. And yeah, he's got he's got standard clergy shield robes, and then he has it's like a silver breastplate of some kind. Put over him.
Standard clergy shield robes. Oddly specific.
This guy's very knowledgeable. He drives around a lot of good people. Have you seen anyone with hair that looks like this?
Oh my god.
What is that?
It's the Scott Pilgrim reference.
Yeah, you.
Well, I just look out the window.
Well, I'm pulling up to your address now, actually.
Draw the Inquisitor. Have you?
And you said you,
have you ever been to this location before?
I said no.
Oh, I asked that.
Oh,
Sorry.
I didn't. I was too busy.
So embarrassing.
We were gonna be friends.
I want to be.
Sweet.
Oh no.
Oh no.
So
Put on the hood.
you said you want me to wait.
Yeah, I hand you another gold, and I say, just wait for us to come back. We'll let you know what you
Well,
do.
do you want help unloading the back, or are you staying here? What are you doing?
Keep it loaded.
Make this a base of operations.
I think we should check it out before we
Yep.
decide to
We'll be right
unload
back to
anything.
unload.
Oh, okay. You just have to check and make sure the Airbnb transfer went through and the keys actually were the
Yeah,
same.
maybe someone should wait here and make sure he doesn't leave.
Hey, you're not gonna leave, are you?
Oh my gosh!
No.
I'm gonna do a scrutiny test on that.
Ugh,
Boom!
there you go.
99.
No.
No.
Yeah, bitch.
I'm just used to it.
I don't know what's been going on. There we go. Does he seem like he's
Yeah,
nice?
he's
He's
gonna
a
stay.
sincere, nice man.
You're good. Thank you, sir.
Mhm.
I'll be sure to share some of that wine with you.
He's like, what?
All workers
What?
have wine. I know,
Okay,
'cause I use wine.
I'd like to go in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do we see? What's this place look like?
Ooh.
Oh,
I wonder if
I would think that
No.
yes. Tell me what it looks like.
I don't want to stay behind, but I'm also not very tough.
You can stay in the back.
Does anybody have a security test?
I do. I have security.
You
Well, and you went up to the door. Do a security test.
He is agility.
The door is locked.
I 17.
So as you're playing with this,
Oh, I don't play.
no.
Girl, I do not play.
Somebody's broken in here before.
I would like to use my Auspex
Mhm.
to do a test within 50 meters
Yep.
for any biometric forms, like any creatures.
Cool. There's nothing. Well, Do your
Okay.
test, but you know, don't do it. I just told you. It's shameful.
Okay.
Yeah, there's.
Do you find out or
nothing.
don't you?
Okay, so you see me go and pull out this little device, and I'm like,
It's like aliens.
and I put it back in,
Or
and I just walk in the door.
Cool.
I'm going in with ya.
Yes.
I'm joining.
I don't know if I actually care. No, I want to go to there, but I was gonna maybe do a senescence test, just to see if there's any other like ethereal presences. But I don't know if I want to.
You should do
You
it.
can do what you want.
That could be really bad. I mean,
What are you gonna do? Blow everybody up?
actually, because I keep thinking that it's a psychic power, but it's not. It's a skill.
Yeah.
Oh, I crit too.
Gosh,
You're fine.
dang, you guys.
Nobody's here.
Okay.
Also,
Extra safe.
want to hang out just a second. Can you just talk? I want to do a mic test real quick.
Yeah, and can you? Yep, can you hear? I'm just talking. That's what I'm.
All right, pause on you, and then you say something.
Words are spoken with your mouth.
Okay, never mind. We're good.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, because
No,
it's like,
yeah.
is it the computer or is it this? Because this is a mic too,
Yeah.
so I want that to
Oh.
be used.
Okay, so I walk into this broken into door.
Cool. Yeah, lights are off.
I have dark sight,
And I also have a globe of light.
Perfect.
Yeah.
which is good.
Looks like any furniture or anything's removed. The place is empty.
Okay.
I'm gonna pull out
No-
my shotgun.
No
while
signs
we're
of a
in
scuffle.
Oh,
Okay, so
I was
it's kind of
like-
like it's been looted.
It doesn't look messy like a looting typically is.
Okay, it's just empty.
Just empty.
Okay. Is there any other rooms? Any other things to look for?
Secret compartments.
There is, but they're all empty.
floorboards.
Okay.
Is there like any like Inquisition symbols that we would recognize?
Empty.
Okay, nothing.
Empty room. Olive green walls. With a little bit of kind of a darker olive green like pattern that's going across them.
Does it have like wood paneling along the walls at all?
No, it's metal.
Metal.
It's all metal. You're in a hive, so wood would actually be strange.
Oh,
Hmm.
right. Can I just go knocking along the wall?
Yeah. You see her do this little crazy like.
Well,
Thing along the wall?
I'm just like tapping as I walk.
Yes, so yeah, you're looking for something.
I'm trying to see if there's anything.
How much time do you want to dedicate to this?
I'm walking at a regular pace. Like I'm not slowly going past, but I'm just trying to see if I notice if anything sounds more hollow or if it's just like clunk clunk.
There's nothing that you see, but as you're going along the walls, you can see where, like the floor has been scuffed, not by aggression, but where furniture was. And so you can see that, there was a couch here, there was a table, this area could have been a study, there was a bookshelf here, it was furnished.
Okay.
I was just gonna ask one thing. Since I'm an arbitrator and I was like raided people's house and they would probably hide stuff, would I be able just to check to see if I noticed any of those signs, like that there is? Yeah, that'd just be like an intelligence test or
It'd be a search test.
search test.
And you don't have a search test, do you? You,
Me?
Katie, yes.
No.
I have search.
Oh! I finally rolled a good one.
Okay.
have
Before
awareness.
you tell me what that roll was,
Mhm.
do an awareness test to aid him.
Nope.
Okay, so you're not being much help, but you have a good idea. You just don't know how to do it because you
I'm
don't
just-
have search.
Right. I'm just like, hey, there's some stuff over
And then,
here.
do you see this? Would you like to
I
assist?
have search, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Do an assist test to see if you help him. That'll
So this
increase
is
your
a
modifier
perception
by 10.
check.
Oh, really? Okay.
34 and mine is 35. So I do it, right?
You do.
Okay.
And so whatever you rolled, you have a plus 10 on.
Oh, sick. So then I rolled a crit 7, so I just would roll zeros because it adds a plus 10 to that, right?
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
really good.
So you do find, and it's actually in a similar way that you found that the area had already been broken into. But there's a vent in the ceiling in one of the bedrooms, and you're going along, and it looks like some actual paint flakes are on the ground. which kind of draw your attention up there. So you pull the vent off and look, and it's like really dusty. But then an area in front of like where that was, it looks like something was like slid out and dust was disturbed, and then the vent was replaced.
I'm gonna go ahead and try and slide that.
No, it's gone. You just.
Oh, it's gone.
Oh, it's not there.
Yeah, so something was there, not there now.
Oh, okay. Well, there is something everywhere. You know, something in this vent, but everything is gone.
Gosh, nothing here. Do we think this seems planned? Like it's done so well. Someone who
Well,
came in here knew what was in here.
If everything is gone, that means that, well, okay, so the driver didn't know about the Inquisitor.
Right.
He probably would have heard tell if someone from the Inquisition had arrived. So that means that it's likely the only people who knew about the Inquisitor's presence is probably someone in the cathedral, aka the bishop, meaning that he probably took her stuff.
I could see that. It
Maybe...
could also be why he hesitated on giving us the address.
I don't know. Maybe it was just.
Allegedly.
I guess it doesn't seem like mutants because they talk about how they're mad and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
This doesn't seem very mutant-y.
This is a little too organized.
So I just want to make sure I fully understand the picture. There's truly there's not a single thing in the room, in the house.
No,
How's
not
that?
even in the
There
hidden
is just-
spot.
They even
There's
took
just-
the microwave.
But there is evidence that things
That
have
things
been
were
moved.
there. Okay.
That's weird.
Yep.
I just don't know. Like, I just want to push back on your logic there a little bit. Like, I don't know that this driver is the person that would be that tapped in to know when an Inquisitor arrives. I imagine that a hive like this might have multiple Inquisitors that could arrive at any point, but maybe I don't know the universe that well.
Typically,
And the Inquisitors only come when there's a problem.
Oh, okay. So an Inquisitor is a big deal.
and
Yes.
it's also not
Well, and it
always
could be
widespread
super
information.
You can do a whole inquisitorial operation on a planet without ever
Silently.
telling anyone.
Right, because we keep the law outside the law.
Because
how-
sometimes it's also not good to share that you're from.
Yeah,
the
sometimes
They
sharing that
hire
you remember will get you killed or attempted to.
Can I ask, when we walked up to the house, did it appear to be discreet? Like, that it just blended right in? That you would not guess it was there?
No.
Like in other
No, it was
like,
a hab unit. It was just a hab unit.
But it
But
looks
it was nothing auspicious. It was nothing that a
fancy.
high-ranking individual would be in. It was just like
common folk.
common. That leads me to believe that whatever inquisitorial efforts were being done were covert, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Can I have Adeptus Arbites or whatever, common lore, like +10. Can I see if this is something that they would have done? Huh? Yeah, I pass.
Very possible.
Yeah.
Also, it would have been done on this level if there was a lot that needed investigated. But also, the Inquisitor has been gone months.
Yeah.
So maybe they've just reopened the space because space is tight on hives.
Yeah. It's pretty clean.
Except that it's been months and it hasn't been reoccupied.
Yeah, and like there's that dust. I don't know. It's something that the Adeptus Arbites could do, but
As you're standing in a doorway, your butt brushes the door frame, and you feel scrolls behind you.
Oh. Oh my gosh, I forgot about these. Do you guys want to take a second and pull these out?
oh
please.
yeah,
Real quick, too, before we look at these, when you noticed that the house had been previously broken into, did you notice if it was by force or if it was
A
like
sophisticated
pretty
break.
more sophisticated?
19.
Well, it was sophisticated, yeah. It hadn't been the door frame wasn't damaged or anything, but you noticed that the keyhole was quite scratched up from the attempt.
It's definitely Jimmy.
yeah. That's not. That doesn't seem like a mutant thing at all.
And Arbites typically, unless it's a special ops, they'll kick the door down.
Right.
So
They'll
a
kick that
covert
door right
operation
down.
with an Inquisitor, and the person who would have invited the Inquisitor there would have been the church,
Mm.
right?
Mhm.
I mean, or can someone else? Well, I guess a governor could have, but apparently, according to the bishop, he's not very present.
We should ask him about that because he sounds like he drives around lots of upper hive people.
Yeah, we should ask about the relationship of the church to the.
Let's read these scrolls and see if they have any
Yeah.
information on any of that.
Amen. Hallelujah.
Cool. So a lot of the scrolls are data entry.
Okay.
For either tithe readings, for the church. Nothing that's like being sent off world because he wouldn't have jurisdiction for that. Some of it's like inventory counting and whatever. One of them does stick out to you. There's like a picture of a wanted man. And he is like, it looks like maybe it's a poster to be copied or something, like put up like a wanted poster. And it's not like a kill and thing. It's just they're seeking information on this person. And it says on the poster he goes by the name Jackal.
Jackal. Okay.
And they're like willing to pay a larger sum of money than you all might feel is appropriate for seeking information
About Jackal.
Yeah, because it's 1,000 thrones, and that's like a lot of freaking money. That's like it's like a brand. That's like a nice car.
It's life-changing money.
Life-changing, like, yeah.
On the inventory, is there anything strange? Like, why would a church have this kind
Well,
of
they
thing?
have, they have different stores. Like, there's the meat line, there's the cheeses that they do, and it looks like they sell and export some of the cheese,
Okay.
and milk, or butter. I meant to say butter. And then, and it looks like they are keeping track of like armor and stuff like that on there too.
Armor that is recovered.
Mm-hmm.
Not armor that's producing, armor that is recovered.
Recovered armor.
Okay.
Does it list how expensive the cheese was?
Yeah, the cheese wheel goes for 5,000 a wheel.
Oh, wee.
Maybe we're not going to eat this.
Well, you only have like a wedge.
Okay.
Like
the
full
whole
wheel.
thing. We just got
the
a little
whole
slice.
wheel. Dude, those things are like 300 pounds.
Yeah.
They're like a stupid amount.
Oh, I just thought.
Have you seen it? Have you seen a cheese wheel in real life?
Yeah,
It's incredible.
Well, like, it depends on which cheese you're talking about, right? Like it being
Oregano Parmesan.
Yeah,
Parmesan.
Parmesan Reggiano, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, those ones get expensive. I watched
yes.
a giant documentary on it.
You've seen where they roll them down the hills.
What?
That's a real thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You need to chase it if you can catch up with it. Yeah.
That's also a
And
thing.
you're gonna keep it if you catch up with it, or just?
I think it's just like a stupid human thing, and you just watch people fall down. It's great.
They're hard.
Okay.
You could hit it with a car and your car would lose.
Should we set up base here?
I'm concerned about the lack of security.
Yeah, someone broke in here.
I mean, is this something that you could fix for us? Could you make the space secure?
I don't think I could
Let's,
make it more secure than the lock.
Set a trap. Actually, they
Like a
already took
paint can
everything.
and a
That's a very-
hair dryer?
It's a
Like
very scummy thing to say.
Well, I'm part scum. This is what I'm thinking. No, just now that I think about it, no one's coming back here.
We place the cheese.
When they pick
And
it
we
up,
put a big old thing, and it comes down.
We set up a pistol with a string.
we'll put
Oh
all
my
the
gosh,
las
Great
guns
Mouse
in there.
Detective. Anyways.
Okay, this is my only worry. I think it's fine if we move on and go and figure out the lower level, but we have a lot of things in our trunk that I don't know what we're going to do with.
Well, there's also the issue
also just
that the
change it
bishop
and go.
knows that we have this address
Uh-huh.
and could send people to check on it and monitor our
Hey,
activity.
Out of
Do
game
that.
thing,
mm-hmm.
this is only like a one shot.
Right.
So we probably
Alright.
don't need a place to set up shop.
I agree. I'm also thinking, here's my thing. In my thinking, the idea of getting the armor was so that we could pose as enforcers when necessary. If we tip our hand now, I think that is problematic.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Because the enforcers are expecting us to meet up with them.
As
So I
not
think,
enforcers.
as not enforcers. And so I
Right.
think it might be worthwhile to hold on to this armor and not reveal that we have it
Use it at an appropriate time.
until a later point when it would be appropriate to go undercover.
Okay.
Because the armor's great, but we all have we have armor presently, right?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Can we get a sense of how great the armor is? Like, is it dramatically
Better than our armor.
You're not even looking at it.
Okay. Well, we'll do
Would
that in a second.
would I know because it's shock armor and I'm like an arbitrator, so I would have riot gear where I would have seen it.
You know that it sounds really nice.
Yeah, it's not something that the common arbitrator has, right?
No.
Yeah.
In this hab unit, is there like multiple levels? Is it just one floor? Like we don't have a
This
lot
is
of.
one level, but the habs run. Like, there's lots of levels.
Okay, I was just wondering if we needed to like go check out more than just this floor.
Honestly, what I was thinking
No?
is like
Okay.
the shock armor is probably already going to make us stand out more
Mhm.
because they'll be like, "Whoa, they sent guys with like the best armor we have."
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's going to be great
Okay.
for undercover. And also, we're like acolytes, so if we really needed to get somewhere, we could be like, "Hey, actually, you're going to do what I say," or you're excommunicated. Is that what we do?
You just kill them.
Oh.
Gotcha.
Or you're dead.
Okay, well, I like that plan. Let's make sure that we fully understand the situation with these scrolls. We need to probably figure out who Jackal is. We need to check back with our driver on, I think we could ask him if he's heard of this Jackal person and what his role in all this is. We could check with him on what the government relationship / the church relationship is, if he has any sense of that.
While he's taking us to our place.
Correct.
We should probably just go do it.
I think it's worth unloading the armor and deciding what else we want to keep with us. So if we could go back, I would suggest we go back to the car and do a quick inventory check and make an assessment as to whether or not we keep it with us or drop it in this place. Is the vent, like the space in the vent, is it very big? Like, is that the most concealed?
It's like a little
in the
bigger than
ceiling.
that.
Okay,
Well,
so-
also, we know that they know the vent is there, so like hiding things in the vent is not worth
Okay.
anything.
And it doesn't have a cover anymore.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Is there a way that you could?
Unless you put it back.
Oh.
Right.
Oh. Is there something on it?
We took the
It's
vent
just
off.
the vent
too.
cover.
Oh, it's just one.
Alright.
Yeah, I think we rolled like a
I
crit
wouldn't do
7,
that to you.
and we all rolled pretty high, and we
Yeah.
didn't find it. I don't think there's anything here. I think it's just an empty hab
Right.
unit.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Then I say that we dump what we can, do what we can to secure it, and then leave.
Is there a closet or anything?
You looked at everything.
Yeah, we
No, I know.
No,
a place
no,
to just leave
for-
our stuff, so it's
yeah.
not
Oh,
in
there's
the front
a-
room.
yeah.
We
Just
just
so
want
it's not like readily
Well, and there's-
apparent.
just with
there's-
the cheese sitting right on top, just like here.
It's like a semi-studio. So there's like a
Okay.
living space, and there's like a kitchen area, and then there's like more of a public setting, like refresher unit, and then there's like a room.
Cool.
Okay. So that's my proposal.
Okay, let's go to the
I
car.
agree.
Open that trunk.
All right.
See what's loaded in
You,
it.
go outside, and he's not there. Just kidding.
Oh, I would have been
No.
so
I was like,
pissed.
do it.
No, yeah, you go outside, and he's sitting there, and you guys go around and pop the trunk, and yeah, it's incredibly nice armor.
Yeah.
And there's the 2 hand flamers. There's 4 las guns. There's charge packs,
have
and then
all
there's
of it
4
written
shields.
Oh, how many tanks for the flamers? I didn't write that down.
Oh, just the tank and the flamer.
Any wine?
Odd or even Tanner.
Even. Give me that wine, baby.
2 bottles.
Oh my gosh. We're leaving that here with the cheese.
You're right. I get it. When he's not looking, I'm just gonna pour some in.
You just let it breathe.
It's okay. It'll breathe.
Oh
in the
no,
glass.
poison.
Okay, so where do we think we need to take? Should we take a flamer? Do you guys want las guns? Like, I have a las gun,
I have a
so
las gun.
I'm okay.
I feel like, well, first of all, I'm not trained to use this weapon. I don't know. I don't know how to use it.
I'll take the
But
one of the
Are you
flamers.
trying to use solid projectile weapons?
I am, yeah.
Well, yeah, but you had a gun. So it's like,
I don't know. I think I have proficiency in flamer.
You have what?
yeah, I just have
you'd know.
primitive
Yeah.
melee and las training. So
So I can take the flame pistol, and I'll probably just take the other canister for the other one.
Okay.
No one else can use it.
Okay,
That's
okay,
smart.
great. That'd be great. You can use it.
because
And then I think we should just take the charge packs for the las
Yeah.
gun.
Yes.
And then I don't know, like maybe another las gun
just in case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should we?
Leave Philip with one.
It's crazy, but like, should we tell him that this guy can have the 4 lasguns in the trunk to take to the normal people?
I don't know if we need to
Dun,
arm
dun,
the restless citizens.
Okay.
I think I would feel comfortable maybe leaving him one.
I think so too. I would be fine leaving one last gun and a charge back.
But if he gets caught with that,
It might be worse for him.
right? So we can
What do you
ask
think?
him.
I mean,
Mm-hmm.
not attached to him.
I'm a little bit.
He's given us more information than anybody else.
Yeah, but that Marcus. He's
The
in
Maxwell. Oh, Marcus, that was his name?
space.
Already forgotten.
Okay, well, we can decide to do whatever. I'm not sold to anything. I haven't killed in a while, so I'm fine to go do some things.
Oh, I thought you were talking about killing
We need a ground.
His name is Perry.
I was his name's Perry, not Philip.
Oh,
He decided it was
No,
Philip.
Philip
No.
was the fake name, but we were still in the stairwell, and so when we went back, it was actually Perry.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It was in a moment when time diverged into 2 universes. One went to Perry and one went to Philip.
Or maybe it's Perry Phillips.
Ooh, or Philip Perry.
No.
Terrible.
Terrible. The worst.
No one would ever name their kid that.
Okay.
Perry.
Yeah, he would have spent like the entire first and all of elementary school is pee-pee.
Oh,
Like 100%.
I'd like to look. Can I tell? Is this armor much better than mine that I'm wearing right now?
Much better.
Much better.
Like how much better?
all much.
Well, what is
better.
the AP of your armor?
3s and 3s all on body, legs, and arms.
Okay. So I will say there are 3 light versions and 1 heavy here, and the heavy would probably be 6 AP, and the lights are 5.
I'm totally down with taking a light because my toughness is I have a 4 toughness, so I'm cool with that.
I could use a light one.
These also do have the symbol of the Arkheim Enforcers on it.
It's just very
Here's the thing.
obvious.
I know.
Here's the thing, though.
And they're white armor.
Oh wow!
Oh.
White with orange, stripes.
I'm gonna wear my cloak over it though. So
Yeah, I have a quilted vest and a tatty robe.
What's that nice crap you got under there, lady?
I'm just imagining
quilted vest and a
Professor
tatted robe.
Trelawney that looks
Right, she's got like a
buff.
shawl. She's got like a shawl, and she's just like her tatted robe.
No, I don't want to wear the armor because of the insignia, because I still am thinking about the lower people. I'm gonna pass.
I think the armor is a problem.
Yeah.
I really don't think that we should tip our hand at this point. Because think about it, we've stolen this armor, right? There is something nefarious going on with the church. We have conned our way into this armor at this point. We would be tipping our hand with our ill-gotten goods. It's a problem.
we have like a backpack we could just carry it in?
Way too big.
I mean, you guys make your own choice, but I just really think that this is not a good one.
You know what? I'm already an arbitrator, so it's not like
Mhm.
I don't know. I have like credentials and stuff, so if someone questioned me, I could drunkenly.
Why don't we get to our location where we're meeting up with people and we look what they're wearing?
All right, that's fine.
Okay. So we're keeping the armor in the truck.
Why don't we wait till we get to the party to see what?
So are we literally putting anything in the house then? The 2 bottles of wine,
Well,
sans a flask.
so I feel like, too, though, with the armor, if anybody were to ask, we'd be like, oh, the church outfitted us.
Right.
You know, like, we have...
But that's what seems to be nefarious right now. These priests are taking dead bodies and we're stripping them of their armor. That's what I'm wondering.
But we also don't know if the enforcers are, like, bitter towards them or if they have any knowledge that that's what's happening, because it's happening underground.
I
That's what I mean, is that we don't know that information, and so...
I think that
Should
like
we risk
the
it?
church seems nefarious because that's just how the church is. Like I don't think.
They might be the best.
Yeah, they're like the Catholic Church from the medieval times, you
Yeah.
know, where they're just like, oh, you know, you worship something different, we better light you on fire. Oh, you got the plague because you didn't pay enough money to repent. You know? Like,
Right.
So I just wonder if that's just how the church is everywhere, and it just seems
We
nefarious.
seem to
Is that-
yeah, right. We're like, oh, it's nefarious, but really it's like, it's just the church.
Common.
Could be how they worship on this world too, because every world worships the Emperor a little different. Kind of funky.
Okay.
Okay.
Then I'm fine taking your advice. I will accept. But I'm also not very tough.
Okay. I'm not either.
Well,
It's
we're
any
gonna-
consolation.
Let's take it with us in the trunk. We'll decide when we get there.
I'm gonna keep the shield with me, but we can leave the stuff in the
yeah.
trunk.
Does the shield have an insignia?
Yes.
Oh, never mind then. I guess we'll just keep it until we get there, and then
Yeah.
we'll get dressed to show how cool we are to the other lame enforcers.
All right. So we have a flame gun we're leaving behind, our flame pistol we're leaving behind
In the house or
in the house.
We're leaving
Yeah.
the empty
without
pistol.
without a canister.
Without a canister.
Okay.
We're leaving behind 1.5 bottles of wine, the cheese.
It's a big flask.
I don't know.
You're leaving the cheese?
Should we take? Do you guys want the cheese? Should we
I don't know,
have the cheese?
you all ate off of it, didn't you?
No, we didn't eat anything.
Yeah,
No.
Captain
We got interrupted.
I tried to cut off
We're
the
leaving it here as a post-op celebration.
Yes, celebratory treat.
Wine and cheese.
If we survive this, we're coming back to this house
Acolytes
living
can have
a
some
life of
cheese
luxury.
as a treat.
Oh
Okay. So yes. Anything else? We're leaving behind 2 guns because are we gonna give one to what's his name?
no! Yeah,
Nah.
let's just leave it. Yeah, why not? And maybe if you guys,
we don't tell him now. We tell him when we get there.
Mm.
Yeah, I agree.
Just
Leaving behind
curious.
2 guns.
Just curious for time purposes, because we were planning on ending around 11.
hmm
Is that when we have to end?
It might be with our timing tomorrow, but I'll.
We could do midnight.
Okay, we can do midnight.
Just curious.
If
Hey.
you guys are game.
you know how we have like a break halfway through this?
Yeah.
Can we take that now? Because my wife is blowing me up.
I'm okay with that. Are you?
Yeah.
It's not the ideal stopping point, but it's fine.
I'm sorry.
All right, no worries. Hey, part 2 is going to be coming your all's way soon, and we're going to stop recording. So